There when you want us to go. Just a second until John is ready. No, sign it here. One change on both teams, you know that. Had he been in a big glass?
Yeah, huge. Is he out?
He's out. No, he's not even told us. That's what they told me anyway.
He's up there, yeah. He's up there.
Is he, yeah. I don't know if it passed.
I know when next time. Morgan said he could be missing an action. No, he came on wing forward last time.
Yeah.
He's quick though, didn't he?
He is.
He came on for edge and forward.
I thought they might have started young Murphy.
Yeah.
Will you give us a signal there when you want us to go? Okay. Will we go so? Okay. Okay. Good afternoon and welcome here to Cusick Park for the second of the Clare Senior Hurling semi-finals, which will see ballyea take on O'Callaghan's Mills to see who gets through to play 6 Mile Bridge in the final in 2 weeks' time, or whenever. It's not fixed yet. We're looking forward to a great game on a beautiful day. I'm joined here by John Conlon from Clare, whom I'm sure would love to be tugged out and out here warming up, but it just wasn't to be. So, John, a great game in prospect here.
Yeah, look, two teams have been playing really well. I suppose ballyea had a big win the last day against Kilmaley, and the Mills would have had a super win as well. So they're both full of confidence, and it should be a good game.
Yeah, I suppose a big blow to ballyea. We've just heard that Gary Brennan is out. He picked up an injury in the football game 2 weeks ago and hasn't recovered in time and won't be part of the game. A huge loss given the way he's been playing this year in particular.
Massive. I'd say he was man of the match against Kilmaley with the scores that he got, and he had a super game and a massive loss to ballyea. His pace, his skill, his power. But then on the other side, I suppose there's a big loss as well with Sean Cotter full forward. So that kind of evens each other out. And it's interesting to see how the two lads coming in, Martin O'Leary and Mike McGrath as well. So look, they'll be hopefully trying to come in and make amends for the lads.
I suppose before a ball was pucked in this championship, ballyea would have been shortlisted as one of the teams likely to challenge strongly for honours, and they have justified that. Maybe the Mills not so much so, but they have been there or thereabouts over the last 7 or 8 years. The Mills have, they've threatened but haven't made a breakthrough. So I suppose their supporters will feel that it's time.
Yeah, we played the Mills a lot with Clare. We've, I suppose, been drawn against each other a lot in the last number of years, and a very well organised group, a very experienced, especially our half back line of Paddy Dunn and Niall Donovan and Adrian O'Gorman. So they're very strong. They'll hold their half back line. They I suppose kind of bullied Aina Kilnamona the last day, held that half back line, let Aina kind of shoot from long range, and I think Aina had 17 wides in the day. but the Mills were you could see their experience shining through. They let Aina draw onto them, but they had super work rate in from Adrian Fall and Jacob Loughnane working back the field, and I suppose Brian Donnan reeled back the years and had a super game as well. So they won't be afraid. They're coming here quietly confident that they'll upset ballyea, and I suppose make amends for what happened 2 years ago when they lost them in the semi-final.
I suppose the big question is, how do you mark or how do you hold Tony Kelly? I suppose he's been one of the stars of hurling for the last number of years, both club and county, and he's really been leading the charge for ballyea this year.
Look, Tony's probably one of the best hurlers I've in the country, and probably the best hurler, one of the hurlers I've seen ever. So I see it at training every time at Clare, and the things he can do with the ball is amazing. But look, it'll be interesting to see how the Mills square up against him. Did they man mark him? Did they let him off and scored his 5, 6, 7, 8 points? It'll be interesting to see that. But ballyea have been cute this year as well. They've also played Tony in different positions. Against Crusheen he was centre forward, and Cian Dillon then had to see did he have to follow him or not. And then against the Mills, or against Clooney Quinn, they put him in full forward, and Ryan Taylor was told to follow him, and he ended up in full back for different stages. So it's been very interesting what ballyea have been doing, just getting Tony in different positions, and getting the opposition to think maybe a bit more outside the box.
While Tony is undoubtedly a class act, it's not by any means a one-man show though. You have Jack Brown, Paul Flanagan has really been superb all this year, Niall Deasy is there, so they have class in a lot of lines. Yeah,
look, there's so many fires that you have to quench on the ballyea team. Niall Deasy, he'll score every free for you and comes away with a massive amount of scores for ballyea. Then you have the two lads in the defence, and look, I suppose Gary is a huge loss, but then you see Killian Brennan, the work rate he does, and Pierce Lewis has been having a super year at midfield as well. So look, they have players in all areas, and really fit team and really strong physical team. So look, it's going to be a great game.
I suppose to win any championship, they say getting the balance between youth and experience is a key ingredient, and the Mills would seem to have a nice balance between youth and experience. You have, as you say, Brian and Pat Donlan there, and Conor Cooney at full back, and on the other side you have Gary Cooney coming through, as one of the younger players, and Colin Crehan has been exceptional as well this year. So they're going to give a fair testing to ballyea, you'd expect.
Yeah, in the last game against Kilnamona, Colin Crehan had a super first half, had their defence at 6s and 7s, and we only said then at half time that Gary needed to get into game, and then he shone through. Then the second half he had a super second half, when probably the attention had gone over to Mark and Colin in the second half. But look, Sean Cotter also had a great game that day as well, and look, he's going to be a huge loss in that full forward line of that three. So it'll be interesting to see how that kind of might upset their dynamic.
Yeah, and I suppose a lot will depend too on if you have to call on your bench, and the Mills look to have a few nice players on the bench. And Cormac Murphy has certainly done the work when he's been around this year. Aaron Griffin for ballyea was very impressive when he was introduced last day out. Now he had a football semi-final yesterday evening, but I'm sure he's a young fella, he'll be fit. So I suppose how subs will impact when they're brought on could have a part to play in this as well.
Yeah, a huge amount. Look, you see it in every team. When the subs come in with 20 minutes to go, how can they make that impact? How can they get that score? You even saw with 6 Bridge yesterday, they brought in Alan Mulready, and he got a great score to finish out the game for the Bridge, to win it by a point. So it's all about your subs, and being ready above the stand, and ready for action, and to make sure that you come in and make an impact.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to call, but I'm going to put you on the spot. How do you see it will be after 60 minutes or 60 minutes?
It's hard to not look towards ballyea. I know Gary's a huge loss, but it's going to be, I think they'll win it by about 3 or 4 points.
Yeah, and they come through to play 6 Bridge, I suppose, in a final that many people have been predicting for a while.
Yeah, look, I suppose it's the final we all want to see. They're the two main teams over the last number of years, winning every second year, and look, the Bridge were lucky enough, I suppose, to come out with a point win yesterday against the Rogue. But it should be a very interesting game here, and I suppose we all want to see that ballyea 6 Bridge final. But the Mills will be quietly confident and looking to destroy that ideal outcome.
Well, everything seems to be ready here, ready to go for what should be a great game, and we'll hand you back to the commentary now.
Oisin Hennessy, a full back line of Brian Carrick, Paul Flanagan at full back with Peter Casey at 4, a half back line of Angus Keane at 5, Jack Brown at centre half back with Brendan O'Connell on his left, James Murphy and Pierce Lillis in the middle of the field. Wearing number 18 will be Marty O'Leary at right half forward, Tony Kelly the captain at centre half forward with Killian Brennan on his left wearing 12. Morgan Gary is top of the right, Niall Deasy is full forward and Owen Donlan wears a number 15 jersey. O'Callaghan's Mills will line out as follows. In goal, Killian Nugent. Full back line of Mike Cotter. Conor Cooney at full back and his brother Jerry is wearing number 4. Patrick Donlan, who captained Clare in 2013, is at right half back. Aidan O'Gorman at centre half back with Niall Donovan on his left. Kieran Cooney and Conor Kenny in the middle of the field. It's going to be Aidan Fall, Brian Donlan, who will captain the side as centre half forward, and Jacob Lugnane wearing 12. Top of the right, Gary Cooney. Full forward wearing number 18 is going to be Mike McGrath, and on his left wearing number 15 is going to be Colin Crahan. Go back to number 9, Conor Henry is wearing the number 9 jersey in the middle of the field for O'Callaghan's Mills. All types of talent on view here today. It's going to be a huge task. Ballyea will fancy themselves at this particular stage in a very, very tough outfit to get on top of.
Yeah, and again, I suppose the question going into the game was Gary Brennan going to play or not? It has been now confirmed that he's not, and that's a major blow to to Ballyea, because a lot of their their puck out strategies work around him. But look at they probably know this for the last couple of the last 2 weeks that he may not be available, that have played. Martin O'Leary comes into the side. We'll just have to make a wait and see how they'll line up.
Martin O'Leary is no stranger to coming on or being on or coming on to the Ballyea side, and a talented man. We named him at right half forward, but you could nearly be certain he's going to line out in the full forward line.
I'd say so, yeah. And again, it's not bringing in a new player new to this stage. He's been here, he's done it before, so he won't have any nerves. He'll know what's expected of him. Kevin Sheehan and Barry Coffey have put great faith in these players over the last year or two. And again, as I said, both teams coming in, something's going to have to give today. The Mills will come in, probably underdogs, really take the game to them. But I suppose the two factors coming in was, will Gary Brennan play, and from a O'Callaghan's Mills point of view, who's going to take the onerous task of taking up Tony Kelly? Exactly.
The other factor, of course, from O'Callaghan's Mills is that Gary Cooney and Colin Crahan created havoc the last day when they got going. And we often talk about corner forwards. When you have two corner forwards of that calibre, well, then opportunities will arise. And of course, that's the difference between winning and losing, then, is taking those opportunities.
Yeah, and again, they really flourished in here the last day with the wide open spaces, the early ball, and they had that Aina Kilnamona full back line under pressure, when they got the ball in. So, both of them have huge potential. Gary Cooney has come through the underage ranks. Colin Crahan is probably more famous for his handball exploits over the last couple of years, but what a hurler he was. And I think the last day, when the need was greatest, Colin Crahan stepped up and put in a 5-star performance.
Absolutely. One of the things that we've been talking about, Tommy, in the championship is becoming a topic, is the amount of frees that teams are winning now. In Jacob Lugnane, in Tony Kelly, or in Niall Deasy, they'll take those opportunities.
Yeah, again, highlighted yesterday with Danny Russell's tally, and more importantly from 6 Mile Bridge point of view, Alex Morey. And yes, it has been a feature of the championship, and I suppose both teams and managements will be making their respective teams aware that to give away a foul, within 80, 90 yards, particularly at this time of the year, for most of the top-notch club free takers, you can chalk it down as a score. So, I suppose the foul has to be a conscious decision. It can't be a lazy decision, otherwise it'll be punished.
We've seen the Mills at this stage. Was it 2 or 3 years ago they were here? But more importantly, there seems to be a freshness about them in 2020.
Yeah, and again, I suppose they were the last point management. I knew they were having trouble getting management, and sometimes when that happens, eventually a manager comes in, it galvanises them, and they have a very experienced coach in Donnacha O'Donnell. He's been around in Limerick and Tipperary, so he'll have them well analysed. I suppose to have one of the best in the business for doing the analysis, Alan Duggan, so there won't be anything missed by the Mills.
Absolutely. Well, a man that'll break it right down, as we know, for quite a long time. Looking at the centre line of ballyea, Oisin Hennessy's having a great year in between the goals, in between the posts. Paul Flanagan, Jack Brown, full back, centre back. Tony Kelly, Niall Deasy, centre forward, full forward, and the tireless working of Pierce Lillis in the middle of the field, and James Murphy as well. So it's a fantastic centre line, first of all, to start off with.
Yeah, and it's an inter-county line in any other name, but again, what they bring, they're all super hurlers, but they bring that experience and composure. Paul Flanagan and Jack Brown marshal that defence. Jack Brown, clubs sometimes try to exploit that space, but unfortunately, with those players there, they can see it and they can fix it. And then again up front, you've Kelly and DC. Sure, look at their game winners on their own, never mind the two of them together. Amanda
set the headlines a couple of years ago, 2013, Patrick Donlan. He's enjoying his 2020 at right half back on the team.
Yeah, and dare I say it, his older brother Brian has really had super championship. I think we're pausing for national anthem, are we?
Very, very shortly now. We will down here in the field. There's just a moment's silence to say right down here at the moment. The national anthem won't be until the next game here, so we'll pause briefly for a moment's silence. Referee Wayne King out in the middle of the field from St. Joseph's to Reverefield, right out there, and it's going to be O'Callaghan's Mills that attack the town goal here in this opening half. You can see Brian Donlan heading for the centre half forward with Jacob McLean over on the far side as well. Looking down to the centre, Conor Cooney is the man that's going to be heading for the full back position right out here at the moment. Jerry Cooney is heading for number 4 right down in front of us. On the far side of the field, it's going to be Mike Cotter. And as we said, Conor Cooney, we've repeated it every single time where we've seen Conor Cooney here. He's the man that captained Clare 12 years ago in the Munster Under-21 final, never to be forgotten in Cusack Park. In the middle of the field, you have Conor Henry getting ready with Kieran Cooney and James Murphy and Pierce Lillis to get this second of the County Senior Hurling Championship semi-finals up in action here in the middle of the field. And Jacob McLean, the first man about to attack in the middle of the field, so is Conor Henry. He's out there as well. He's the man with the ball in his hand, whips the ball into the centre, running onto this one. Jacob McLean takes the shoulder, holds onto the ground, goes out to Gary Cooney. He's the man trying to go through. He's a first shot at the ball, goes inside. Oisin Hennessy, and again they just take it off the line aside, but the Mills still on the attack onto the far side of the field, down here to our left hand side, down to the town goal, still holding onto the ball. Again there's a gathering of players. Is picked up there by Pierce Lillis. Here's the man that comes out with this ball now, sending the ball right down the line at this side. Once again Morgan Gary's going to go for it, but it's batted down neatly into Conor Henry in the middle of the field, coming away with it, whipping the ball up to this side of the field, again going up to the middle of the field. Kieran Cooney into the centre goes. It's Colin Crehan on the ball. He wins it, and he also wins the free, and it's the first scoring opportunity for O'Callaghan's Mills. I thought it might be Jacob McLean that was coming over to take this one. He's gone to the other side of the field, so it's going to be possibly Colin Crehan that will line up to take this free for O'Callaghan's Mills outside the 20 metre line. Opening attack here of the game, Tommy, and almost registering a green flag.
Yeah, again, I suppose Gary Cooney probably, took it on. The defence opened up for him. His probably shot wouldn't have been as the quality to beat a keeper like that, but it was there on the rebound and cleared. But resulting free for Colin Crehan.
Colin Crehan coming up to take this one, just as we said, down into the town goal, down here to our left hand side, and he sends the ball in. Does it curl in? It does. Just goes inside the post. Opening score of the game. Just a minute on the clock here, or less than a minute on the clock, when O'Callaghan's Mills go into that fast lead to puck out to the far side of the field. Once again, it's Paul Flanagan on the ball, trying to come away with it, whips the ball into the middle of the field, and it's ballyea on the attack, but they've been blocked down on the far side of the field. Brian Donlan is out there in the thick of it at the far side. It's going to be a line ball. Everybody moving back into the centre here, everybody going back. Jack Brown moving back, backing his way into the 20 metre line with a line ball from Jacob McLean on the far side of the field, about to strike this one very, very shortly. Chips this one into the open territory side. Continued as a brilliant ball going into Conor Henry, now getting onto his left hand side. Oh, That's a superb goal. Colin Hendry was the man. He made the run through the centre, but then he had work to do. He had to control the ball. He did. He sold the dummy to his right, went to his left, and just lobbed the ball in to past Oisin Hennessy inside in the back of the net. That's a superb start for O'Callaghan's Mills. A goal and a pint on the board with 2.5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, again, that came from nowhere. It came from a flick off, I think, from Sean Cotter. Henry found himself in loads of space. You took it on, had the composure and the confidence. As you said, a flick into the net.
Absolutely. From Niall DC, it's away out the field, and Niall DC opens the account here for the ballyea men, winning the ball just outside the 45 metre line and whipping the ball over the bar. Lightning starts as we would expect in the park here, but it's 1-1 to O'Pine. O'Callaghan's Mills leading here, as we said, playing into the town goal. The puck out down here to our right hand side from Killian Nugent, the man who lined out in the Clare jersey as well at underage. Jack Brown still in the Clare jersey, out to Tony Kelly. We'll say no more. Out to the middle of the field is Tony Kelly coming away with this one from deep inside his own half, pops the ball into the danger, tries to get the ball away, out to Killian Brennan, back to Tony Kelly again from out the field. It's high and it's straight between the posts from the stick of Tony Kelly. Couldn't expect anything less. Great work by Killian Brennan as well, lining up there, just knew exactly what he had to do. Take the ball, release the ball back, and he pops it over the bar from the stick of Tony Kelly. 1-1 to 2 points, Tom.
Yeah, look at him. I mean, he had the composure, didn't go for the shot, give the 1-2 to Killian Brennan straight over the bar. I saw the umpire going for the flag before he had struck even.
Ball breaks out to the side of the field, picked up by Aidan Fall. Aidan Fall on the attack, trying to breeze through the centre, whipping the ball across to the middle of the field, trying to get it into his hand was Colin Crahan. The other man that's coming along is Conor Henry. Gets the ball back up. What a superb start it was for him. The run he made from the middle of the field. Jack Brown is out there, has the ball. Now it's gone back to the ground. Now he's fouled, and now it's going to be a free in for O'Callaghan's Mills outside the 45 metre line with the sun beaming across Cusick Park here. A very special welcome once again to our good friends at Blossoms on the Go, and to Shirley and everybody up there at Centre Point in Hermitage, our kind sponsors this afternoon once again. I'll tell you, I heard a story about Shirley a while ago. I'll tell you what it is. We were great friends of Shirley's until I found out who her uncle was. I'll tell you later on. Out to the middle of the field.
You have the listeners on tenterhooks.
Jacob Lucknan outside the 45 metre line, and Jacob of course pops the ball straight over the bar here, and it's 1-2 to 2 points. So O'Callaghan's Mills into the lead here with just under 5 minutes gone in the opening half.
Yeah, again, interesting. Jacob Lucknan, Colin Crean took the first one, Jacob Lucknan did the second one, so it's great to have 2 free takers just in case one is off.
Jerry Cooney is the man with the ball, but he's going to leave it out here to this side of the field. Now the line ball has gone back to exactly where it was thrown. It's going to be placed right on the line. It's going to be a line ball for O'Callaghan's Mills down here to our right hand side. It's going to be taken by Niall Donovan, moving the ball, looking around there at the options, looking back into the space as well. Now he comes up to take it. Let's see who's facing up to this one. Gary Cooney, Marty O'Leary down there to the middle of the field as well. Also down there was Morgan Gary, but the ball has gone out over the line, and it's going to be a line ball. Moving away from that is Aidan Fall, and it's going to be Niall Deasy back there as well. Everybody waiting for it, everybody trying to restore a small little bit of order. Now they're in a hurry to take the line ball. It's 1-2 to 2 points here. O'Callaghan's Mills leading here in the second of the County Senior Hurling Championship semi-finals. Niall Deasy will more than likely pop this one in around the house. Who's making the run? Angus Keane is making the run through the centre. Very easy for us to see it here. Now the ball goes in right into the edge of the danger zone. Killian Nugent has a bit of work to do inside the O'Callaghan's Mills goals. He runs into traffic, has to release the ball. He does that out to this side of the field. Ball going out. It's going to be blocked down. It's going to be a free. It's going to be a line ball coming up here. I think came off a deflection, Tom, up to this side. so it's an O'Callaghan's Mills ball.
Yeah, I got my side mixed up. I was saying that was the right decision, wrong way.
Thank God we were referee. Out in the middle of the field at the moment, one of the players going to the ground. We'll see. It's going to be the line ball. Niall Donovan is about to take it. The referee allowing play to continue on here. It comes into the middle of the field. Now he's going to stop it. Kieran Cooney is the man with the ball in his hand, and it's going to be looking back here to this side of the field. Again, the referee, Wayne King, is having a word with his linesman right down here in front of us. One of the Pierce Lillis, I think, is the man that's down injured in the middle of the field, and if anybody doesn't go down too handy, it's going to be Pierce Lillis, let me tell you. But he's down at the moment here. The referee is having a word with the linesman. Tommy, we were keeping an eye on the ball down below, but Just trying to get a picture of who's down on the ground.
Yeah,
at
I
the
think
moment,
it looks like it's Pierce Lillis. Okay.
Sorry, it is Pierce Lillis.
It is here, James Murphy.
But, yeah. Just looking here to see who the referee is going to speak to at the moment. He's looking around here. He's talking to his umpires back at the back as well, and he's still moving back. Now Pierce is back on his knees at the moment. Will be back on his feet hopefully very, very shortly. And now he is back on his feet, and he's picking up the stick. He's getting ready for the action. He took a knock here, and you can see there's a needle coming into this one, and sometimes it's most welcome. Now another player going down injured at the moment down here to our right hand side, and the referee Wayne King, he's going to be come back to his linesman again here. And by the way, the clock will tell us 7.5 minutes gone. O'Callaghan's Mills with that absolutely brilliant Conor Henry goal. They lead 1-2 to 2 points. No names taken, no cards given out. And as I said, a lack of evidence, I tell you, on the part of Wayne King. In fairness to him,
I just think we need to get the ball out of this and into play again.
Could not do anything about it, as I said. Happened well away from the ball, into the middle of the field to go once again. Callaghan's Mills on the attack, comes off the line, out over the line, and it's going to be a line ball back down here to our left hand side again. It's going to be Brian Donlan, the captain. He's in a hurry to take it again. There's a bite in this one as it's now moving the ball back, and it is going to be once again. It's going to be Aidan Fall that's going to take this line ball for O'Callaghan's Mills. This time he's 55 out from the corner flag down here to our left hand side, getting ready to strike this one into the zone, in a crowded enough zone inside around the goals as well, and this one will move into the 20 metre line. That's exactly where it goes, right on the edge of it, but it's controlled by Paul Flanagan, trying to get it away back out to James Murphy. Composure, lets the ball out to Tony Kelly about to be tackled out there in the middle of the field by Aidan O'Gorman, but releases an attacking ball down to this side of the field. They jump up for it, ball breaks into the centre, and it's picked up, and again the Millsmen coming away with the ball back to the far side of the field, challenged out here by Morgan Gary. He's still trying to get control of the ball in the middle, still going nowhere. Now it's picked up by Conor Henry, looking around here, looking for support, and he gets it from Brian Donlan trying to get past, holding on to the ball again, just that one step too many for the Mills captain. It's going to be a free in dead straight in front of the goal, and it's going to be about 67 metres out from the goal down here to our right hand side.
Yeah, and again, Brian Donlan, in fairness, one possession, sidestepped, but then had to take it again into, took a step or two more. In fairness, there was a good lot of covering for the ballyea midfielders there, but for 65-yard line, no breeze as such, dry ball. Niall Deasy, you'd fancy his chances.
1-2 to 2 points. 9.5 minutes gone here in this opening half. It's been a lively 9.5 minutes, let me tell you. It's Niall Deasy, one from play so far for the ballyea men. For Niall Deasy, this is a chance of his second one. They have 2 on the board. Let's see what's going to happen. Dead straight in front of the goal, 65 metres out, and it's Niall Deasy with the strike. If you pick someone, that'll be the man. He pops the ball straight over the bar once again from the stick of Niall Deasy, and it's 1-2 for O'Callaghan's Mills, 3 points for ballyea.
Yeah, and again, I suppose there's a lot of settling down to do. There's no great pattern to the game, but Conor Henry on the ball again.
And Conor Henry on the attack as well, getting the ball into the space, looking and trying to find Gary Cooney. Just simply couldn't get there. The ball touched the ground and took off out over the end line, ball going wide. Oisin Hennessy with the puck out, trying to plant the ball down into the middle of the field, and he does to Pierce Lillis on the far side of the field. The man from Clare playing with ballyea, plays his football with Clare. Jack Brown played football last year but none this year, up to the far side of the field, looking for Marty O'Leary. He's about to be challenged out there by Mike Cotter on the far side of the field, but again the ball going over the line ball on the far side, and line ball once again is going to be Conor Cooney back to take it. Now he's going to leave it. No, he's not on the far side. Now it's Mike Cotter that moves away. Conor Cooney about to take this one on the very, very furthest part of the field away from us, right inside on the corner as well. Owen Donlan standing on the edge of the square. He's out there on the far side of the field. Line ball, Pat Donlan to take this one, chipping this one in. Chips the ball into the wide open space, looking around, releasing the ball. Callaghan's Mills on the attack, pulled, and it's going to be a free out for them inside their own 45 metre line, but at the moment they still lead by 2. It's taken fast into the wide open space, coming out to whip that ball into his hand is Colin Crahan, getting the ball back out to his captain Brian Donlan has a chance from just inside the 45 metre line, and boy does he take it, slanting the ball straight over the bar once again from the stick of Brian Donlan, and it's back to a 3-point lead for O'Callaghan's Mills. Double scores in the park. 1-3 for O'Callaghan's Mills. It's 3 points for ballyea.
I think O'Callaghan's Mills management will be very happy. You know, they're using the ball well. They're hitting in good ball to the inside line. You know, playing very composed hurling so far.
Super hurler from Brian Donlan, getting the ball back into the corner, but it's picked up inside by Brian Carey, coming out with it. Gets across to Jack Brown. Good ball, Peter Casey in there as well, around the house. Ball breaking out to this side of the field. Picked up by Jerry Cooney. He's looking for support. Can't get it. Decides to come away with the ball into the space it goes over the head of Colin Henry, back into James Murphy. James Murphy just getting the ball, almost getting the ball into his hand. Now he's picked up inside to this side of the field, and it's picked up to the middle. It goes to Brendan O'Connell. Brendan O'Connell breaking ball back out to Pierce Lillis. Pierce Lillis deemed the ball after gone out over the line, and it's going to be a line ball right down here at the moment, right in front of us to the far side of the field. And again, looking down, that edge that we can see is there. Brendan O'Connell, Pierce Lillis moving away as well, but it's a line ball dead centre of the field for O'Callaghan's Mills.
The Mills aren't really up for this game, are they? They're contesting, they're hooking, they're blocking, they're tackling, they're really driving onto it. I think there's a call by one of the umpires inside. The goalie is down, I think, at the moment.
Well, I think he's only down, possibly Oisin Hennessy. He's having a fantastic
hand injury,
year.
I think, yeah.
It's the hand injury inside on the goal mouth. It's going to be a line ball. It's going to be Niall Donovan is the nearest man to it, and again keeping company as he didn't fall. Let's see which one of those is going to take it. Morgan Gary looking on closely down here to our right hand side, looking back at the back. Jerry Cooney picking up the role, trying to keep an eye on Niall Deasy. Down to our left hand side is Oisin Hennessy, that after taking a knock back down here to our left hand side, and of course last year's goalkeeper Barry Coote out injured for a while. He may be called on, and he's down limbering up on the sideline at the moment as well. And as we see him in action, let's see what's going to happen back here to Oisin Hennessy, taking a knock back there to our left hand side, and looking back here to this Tommy. You're keeping an eye on the Camogie. It's a huge 2 days for the Camogie down in Father McNamara Park, and you're keeping an eye on the intermediate final there.
Yeah, Fickle Killinane are leading just after half time, 1-8 to 8 points. So, you know, close, tight game. They had it in the qualifiers, and it'll be no different today. We lost the final last year. Look, Nan always said you had to lose one to win one, so hopefully it'll work out.
We'll see what happens. There's still a hold up down on the play on the far side of the field. Don't forget, at 5:45 we have the other of the football semi-finals as well. Cratloe taking on St. Brecons from Listowne, Varna and Doolin. What a game that is going to be. We had a thrilling encounter yesterday between Kilmurray Bricken. There's Barry Cootlin bring up Kilmurray Bricken and Lisa Casey, providing us with a game to remember yesterday, and all ended up with Kilmurray Bricken winning by a single point at the end of the day, and that was followed by the hurling championship semi-final with 6 Mile Bridge also winning by a single point against their Rogue. Barry Coote is ready for action if he's called upon. Oisin Hennessy still receiving treatment inside in the goal mouth at the moment. It was a very good start. You know, you just mentioned it just as a joke. O'Callaghan's Mills more than ready for this. They're absolutely wiring into this game.
Yeah, they're contesting everything, you know, and they're moving the ball. They're very physical, you know, which there has been. It's not just today. They have brought that work rate and physicality, you know, to all the games today. And I'd say, you know, their management, Mills, don't want to allow ballyea to settle into any rhythm. They want to, you know, to upset them and be as destructive as they can. It's just Barry Coffey now looks like he's coming back down again. I'd say it's okay. Oisin Hennessy has the helmet back on, so game restart.
The game restarts, and it's Morgan Gary on the ball. That line ball was taken, but it went astray into the centre. James Murphy leaving it, but it's whipped out of there by Brian Donlan into the middle of the field. Now it's picked up, goes to the ground. O'Callaghan's Mills win. Now it comes back to Kieran Cooney. He's trying to control it, but again traffic arriving there. Now there's a gathering of players. Moves the ball out to the side. Aidan Fall trying to move the ball into the middle of the field as well, trying to get that ball away. Good stuff down there as well from Mike McGrath. He's down there trying to win it, but now it comes back once again to James Murphy into the middle of the field. Now striking it. ballyea on the attack, but to the far side of the field is picked up Owen Donlan's first piece of action. Challenged out the other side to the middle by Mike Cotter, but it's Owen Donlan from way out. The ball goes to the left and it goes wide once again. On the clock, they'll tell you there's 16 minutes on the clock. We haven't had 16 minutes of play, so it'll be interesting to see when the water break will arrive here. It's 1-3 to 3 points as the puck out once again landing down on the far side of the field. Right under it at the moment is Brian Carey trying to get control of the ball on the far side of the field, kicking the ball out of the way. Now it comes to Brian Carey, now coming out with the ball, challenged by Jacob Lucknan into the middle of the field to Jez Murphy, but Brian Donlan robs him. Brian Donlan has the strike from out the field. It goes to the left of the goal and it goes wide, and Brian Brian will know better than anybody. That was a gilt-edged opportunity for him in the middle of the field, but he'll be back for more. The poker goes to the far side of the field. Once again, they're under Killian Brennan and Patrick Donlan. The ball breaks out to Niall Deasy, about to be challenged out here on the far side of the field by Mike Cotter, but goes down along the line, out over the line, since the linesman on the far side of the field. Line ball once again.
Yeah, and again, I suppose as we come up to the first water break, as you said, Sil, the difference between the team is that Conor Henry goal. So, ballyea yet to hit top form, but the Mills really up for the game today.
Throw ball into the middle of the field. Angus Keane trying to win it. He does release it out to Pierce Lillis. Pierce Lillis from way out sends the ball high up into the sky, drops the ball in. That's superb. The ball landing straight over the bar from the stick of Pierce Lillis. It was nearly higher than the length of it. It was 45 metres out. It went right up in the air. Now the water breaks arrives here, and that followed by Oisin Hennessy's injury back up to our left hand side. Well, it's just looking at the clock, Tommy, we're heading for the 17-minute mark, 17 and a half on the clock. I think Kevin Sheehan will be the happier manager getting his players back in.
Because I think it's not that there's complacency, but I think they haven't matched the Mills in their work rate and intensity, and I think that's something that ballyea are going to have to correct going forward, because as we said, the Mills are fighting for everything. They're very physical, very intense, and as you said there, that goal, it leaves a 2-point gap in it. But the Mills have had chances. Brian Donlan we spoke about there. But the Mills not overawed by the occasion. I think they probably started and settled the better of the two teams today.
Absolutely. O'Callaghan's Mills back down to our left hand side. They're just ready for action once again. You can see ballyea, Kevin Sheehan just inside in the middle of the huddle, just urging the players maybe to settle down a little bit more than anything else. That would be a huge thing from their point of view. Oisin Hennessy is still receiving treatment of a thumb injury, it looks like, here in the middle of the field, but O'Callaghan's Bill's been spoken to back to the left hand side, ready, as we said. They just want to keep the momentum. They had the momentum going, and that's huge, as we have seen in games. It was broken up by Oisin's injury. Now the water breaks, so they need to get that tempo back up again, and that's what the management, more than anything else, will be emphasising to the players.
And again, it's about getting Tony Kelly on the ball, getting DC into scoring positions. Pierce Lillis has come into the game there at midfield, but there's no real pattern to the play yet. I suppose from a ballyea point of view, the puck outs, they are missing their go-to player for that puck out, and we all know when he wins that ball, Gary Brennan, how well he links up with Tony Kelly. That hasn't happened to date. It's probably going to be a bit different today, so it'll take him a while to react. The ballyea defence, then the Crehan and Cooney are posing big threats in there. If the Mills can get quality ball in there, likewise, we haven't really seen Niall Deasy enough of the ball in front of the square to cause the Mills any panic. So look at first quarter over, advantage the Mills, but it's still all to play for. All to play for.
Oisin Hennessy is back on the goal line at the moment. He's ready for action. It's going to be Killian Nugent is going to resume the second period of the first half. From the puck out to the far side of the field, trying to land the ball in front of Brian Donlan and Jack Brown. He does that, goes to the ground. Now he's picked up by Tony Kelly. He's the man that takes on the Mills attack from way out the field. That's brilliant out there outside in the middle of the field. Great work out there by Aidan O'Gorman, blocking it down. O'Gorman goes back again, tries to get the ball on the second occasion. Now he's going back to try and retrieve this, but Patrick Donlan coming along, he wins the ball, comes over it and drives the ball up to this side of the field, coming out to Colin Crehan, trying to control it. The world handball champion is going to strike this ball from way out the field. It's high, it's dropping straight over the bar. Colin Crehan, and you can go all the way back to Aidan O'Gorman, who blocked down Tony Kelly, then got the ball away. It came to Patrick Donlan and landed at the feet of Colin Crehan. A superb score for O'Callaghan's Mills, but it's ballyea on the attack. It's out to Niall Deasy. Deasy striking from out the field, and once again Niall Deasy bringing the ball inside the 20 metre line and popping it over the bar. 2 points in 60 seconds here leaves the score. O'Callaghan's Mills 1-4. It's ballyea 5 points here. There's 21 minutes gone in the first half.
Maybe it might open up still, and we might get a bit more open-handed hurling. As you said, the ball swung from end to end there with the score on either side. So again, good quality ball into the inside line to Crehan, and again then their go-to man up front, DC, won the ball, had a lot to do, but a good score.
Jack Brown is the man lining up to take the line ball. Good work back there by Paul Flanagan as well, holding that O'Callaghan's Mills attack to the middle of the field. But now is Jack Brown ball, attacking ball, right down the centre, goes right in over the head, but it should be Conor Cooney trying to control it. Back on the line at the moment, he gets the second chance. Martin O'Leary putting him under pressure, still trying to get control of that ball on the 20-metre line. Martin O'Leary almost had the ball into his hand. Now he's on the ground. Now he has no ball, and it comes out to Mike Cotter. Mike Cotter back to Killian Nugent, his goalkeeper. He'll get a chance to drive the ball back into the middle of the field. Once again, heading for Gary Cooney and Brian Carey. Gary Cooney is the man that gets it out to this side of the field on the attack, placing a neat ball right inside, but it just goes right inside and just couldn't get control of it on the far side of the field. Colin Crehan was in there as well, and it's going to be a wide ball and a puck out for Ocean Hennessy. He already has it done into the middle of the field. Now Donovan gets the breaking ball. It's Aidan Fall coming up along the line with this one. Kieran Cooney is on the ball at this side, slaps the ball into the centre. It just goes astray slightly, comes away to this side of the field, trying to get that ball back into his hand is Peter Casey, but the Millsman is still holding on to it. Kieran Cooney in the middle of the field comes out to this side, to the middle of the field to Colin Crehan, again landing a dangerous ball inside. It's going to be Paul Flanagan, it's going to be Gary Cooney. Gary Cooney has the ball now. He turns back here to his left hand side, very acute angle, pops it in, and the ball goes across the goal. It goes to the left and it goes wide. 1-4 for the Mills. ballyea 5 points here. 22 and a half minutes gone in the first half.
Yeah, again, the last two shots there, probably should have kept them alive. Cooney was under pressure from Flanagan there, but there wasn't any great option up there, so he had to have a go.
And now it's Killian Brennan. He's having a go back out to the middle of the field. Comes out to Niall Deasy, back to Tony Kelly. Tony Kelly has a strike from way out on the sideline. Already the umpire is on his way, picking the ball up as Tony Kelly, like he does like no other, slatting the ball straight over the bar. And again, the score is back to a single point lead for O'Callaghan's Mills. 1-4 is ballyea 6 points here, and the clock once again 23 minutes. Your commentary compliments of our good friends at Blossoms on the Go Garden Centre in Hermitage and Ennis. Ball coming out to this side of the field. Once again it's sailed in from Colin Crehan, but this one there's a tail on it to the right hand side and it goes wide. Still that point of a lead as the sun begins to reappear in Cusick Park here, and the puck out is fast and furious between Killian Brennan and Patrick Dunn, and Niall Deasy gets the breaking ball right behind him. He has a shot from way out on the sideline at the moment. It goes to the right and it goes wide. Once again the puck outs are fast and furious, keeping the pace of the game. Killian Nugent is back here to our right hand side. He's getting ready for it, and we can see down on the sideline Kevin Sheehan is busy on the Benish door of ballyea to the far side, just going over the head of Brian Donlan. Can't get to it, and it's going to be a line ball, and it's going to be Jack Brown that's going to take it outside the 65, outside his own 65 metre line. Pearsley is going over to assist. Keeping an eye on him will be Conor Henry. That's the difference between the ballyea men and the Mills men, is Conor Henry's goal. To the far side, Morgan Gary letting the ball in over his shoulder. Owen Donlan trying to come on with this one, trying to get his Martin O'Leary being challenged down there, trying to get the ball away. Now it comes back to this side of the field. Tony Kelly with the ball. It's high. It's going to be very, very close. It's fantastic score from Tony Kelly. His back was to the goal. Tremendous work from Martin O'Leary and Morgan Gary as well. They're releasing the ball. Tony Kelly on the outside like he does day in, day out, and again driving that ball. Brendan O'Connell is on the ball at the moment. Back to Tony Kelly again from way out the field. It's high. It's dropping in, and it goes to the left of the goal, and it goes wide. The sides are level. 1 goal and 4 points for O'Callaghan's Mills, 7 points for ballyea. 25 minutes on the clock, and Kelly Nugent with the puck out to this side of the field, trying to control the ball. Out to the middle of the field it comes to Jerry Cooney. Cooney driving up the field, goes to the ground, looks for support, sends the ball out to this side to Kieran Cooney, slipping the ball back into the middle of the field. Great work. Aidan O'Gorman was the man that got that ball, but it comes back to Brian Carey. Into the space it goes, picked up by Jack Brown. Jack looks around, places the ball to Tony Kelly. Now he controls in the middle of the field, and again from way out the field, it's high, it's dropping in, and again he sends the ball straight over the bar from the stick of Tony Kelly inside his own half of the field. It's left, it's right, but most of the time it's over the bar as well.
And sometimes, when you're looking at the umpire inside, he's debating whether it is. As soon as Tony Kelly hits it, he's running for the flag, and that's a sure indication that it's over.
James Murphy goes in, tries to get that ball away, but it comes once again to Brendan O'Connell, back to the middle of the field to Brian Carey, back to Jack Brown. ballyea again just better organised at the back at the moment. Into the centre goes Owen Donlan. The ball goes in behind at the moment, but it's picked up by Killian Brennan. Killian Brennan about to strike the ball, and he does, and he sends it over the bar. He got the breaking ball just outside the 20 metre line, no doubt about it, chased by Pat Donlan, but just couldn't get get him, and Killian Brennan slotting the ball straight over the bar, and in the blink of an eye it's ballyea going into a 2-point lead here. 9 points to O'Callaghan's Mills, goal and 4. Ball in the middle of the field. Angus Keane is out there outside with Jacob Lookdown as well, but Angus is the man that wins it. Back to Jack Brown, trying to roll the ball into his hand. He does, looks around, now he's been fouled, and now it's going to be a free, and it's Tony Kelly going back to take it on his own 45 metre line. It's whatever little breeze is here is favouring ballyea in this first half, so maybe that's why he's back around there. Will it land in around the house? Let's see what happens. Morgan Gary is like a man waiting for the breaking ball. It's heading in that direction. It's dropping in very close. It just bounces to the left and it goes wide. 9 points to 1-4. ballyea leading here by 2 points with 3 minutes plus additional time left here in the first half, so you could safely say, Tommy, there'll be a good 7 or 8 minutes of additional time in this first half. Brian Donlan is on the ball at the moment, trying to get away from Angus Keane. He's been fouled, and it's going to be a free for Jacob Lookdown and for O'Callaghan's Mills outside the ballyea 65 metre line.
Yeah, and again, you spoke about still, who would want to get their team in on the water break to have a chat with them. Obviously, Kevin Sheehan had some words of encouragement for ballyea, and they came out and they've hit the ground running. They've scored probably 4 points without reply there, in the blink of an eye with DC and Kelly on top form. So the Mills just need to get the grips with them again, and put every shot they have under real pressure.
It's Jacob Lookdown with the free outside the 65 metre line, getting ready to strike this one into the space. Now he's about to strike it again from way out the field. He slots the ball in, and he slots the ball. The umpire decides to wave his hands as the ball goes to the left and it goes wide. It's still ballyea leading by 2 here in the park with 2 minutes plus additional time left in this first half. There's a long ball dropping into the zone. Up they go for it. Ball breaks out. Conor Cooney trying to get it. Back there is Aidan O'Gorman on the second occasion. Now he's on the ground, still trying to get that ball away, but it's won back there by Mike Hutter, coming away with the ball, slotting the ball into the middle of the field, running up for it and trying to get control of it. Conor Henry back there. Now it goes into the middle of the field to Mike McGrath, but it's broken up and it's back to Jack Brown, and Jack Brown sets up a ballyea attack between Niall Deasy and Conor Cooney. Niall Deasy gets the ball into his hand. Now he turns back. High ball from way over his shoulder. He sends it in. That's fantastic scoring indeed by Niall Deasy as he slotted the ball straight over the bar. The linesmen or the Millsmen are protesting on this occasion that ball didn't quite make it. The linesman on the far side has indicated it has. So has the umpire. So you can mark it down here in Cusack Park. 10 points for ballyea, 1 goal and 4 for O'Callaghan's Mills. 29 minutes gone first half. Superb points from the ballyea men.
Yeah, and again, it's probably worrying from O'Callaghan's Mills point of view that they haven't scored from the 28th minute. It has all been ballyea, Niall Deasy in the 21st, Kelly in the 24th, Kelly again in the 25th, Kelly again in the 26th, Killian Brennan in the 27th, and again Deasy in the 28th. So ballyea really cranked it up since that water break, and you spoke about who would need the G up, and ballyea have reacted to whatever was said. The Mills just need to get tighter. They're allowing ballyea players, Paul Flanagan to Jack Brown. They can see you need to put that under pressure there. They're finding Kelly at centre forward, and if they can't find Kelly, they find DC with great reward.
It's Conor Cooney is the man that's receiving treatment on the far side of the field. He has the helmet off, but it's on very, very shortly. There's 5 minutes of additional time here, and you can add another minute onto that at least for Conor Cooney to get back in action here with referee Wayne King. Just having a word with him, just checking his welfare. Now everybody moves away, and it's going to be play resumed again. 10 points to 1 goal and 4. Commentary compliments of Blossoms on the go. Garden Centre at centre point in Hermitage and Ennis. There's a measured ball right out into the middle of the field. It's picked up by Niall Donovan as the man that takes it from Aidan O'Gorman at centre half back. It's the Mills on the attack. What a goal would do for them before half time. Comes back out to the middle of the field, still trying to get that ball away and trying to move it. Now the ball going absolutely nowhere. Angus Keane is back there. He's trying to move the ball to the far side of the field. Challenged out there by Gary Cooney. Ball kicked out of danger. Brian Carrick trying to control it on the far side of the field. He can't on the first occasion. Now coming away with his Jack Brown. He's on the ground. Now he gets up. Now he's moving down along the line with the ball. scooping the ball out to the middle of the field. Now he's holding on to it, gets it into the centre, but James Murphy will pick it up, and he's lost the ball into the zone. It goes inside, looking inside. Now there's a dangerous ball from Martin O'Leary on the far side, challenged by Mike Cotter. Martin O'Leary gets it now, he sends it back out to Niall Deasy. Deasy trying to sell the dummy, he's blocked down there. Patrick Donlan about to come away with it. Killian Brennan goes in, he gets the ball into his hand, and again the ball falls out of his hand. Niall Dunham is back there, he's helping out to Conor Henry in the middle of the field for the Millsmen, chipping the ball into the centre to Brian Donlan, again the ball coming off his hand, but he goes back to get this ball. Now he has won the free, he's been challenged, now he's won the free in the middle of the field for a high tackle, says the referee, and this is a huge opportunity for the Mills to simply pull one back here before the half-time whistle goes, and that's at least at the moment easily 3 minutes away, 3.5, maybe 4 minutes away from that, but it's an opportunity for Jacob Lucknane in the dead centre of the field. No matter which way you look at it, the length or the breadth of it, it's going to be Jacob Lucknane. As we said, a huge occasion for him. Oisin Hennessy is back out of his 13 metre line. That, let me tell you, won't last very long. He'll go back in, just trying to organise the backmen as well. Wayne King back there as well, moving players. And again, there's another. Mike Cotter looks like a man that's down injured at the far side of the field, but we'll stay with Jacob Lucknane. Again, he's receiving treatment, and that's the hold up in play.
Yeah, again, I don't know. I mean, there was there was a goal chance down there, a half a goal chance between Niall Deasy and Killian Brennan, and in fairness, the Mills backs scrambled. Whether there was an injury in executing that tackle by Mike Cotter, but as you said, Jacob Luckane has the ball in the middle of the field, so Wayne King has gone down. The Mills physio is in to have a look at him. It looks like a hip or a back injury, I think.
That's exactly what it looks like from here. He's going into his umpires. I don't think there was anything malicious in it, and here we were, and we're looking the other way, but he's like a man with a hip injury, maybe a leg injury down there as well. He's receiving treatment, and the referee Wayne King is back there as well. 1 goal, 10 points for Ballyea, 1 goal and 4 for O'Callaghan's Mills, and there's exactly 33 minutes on the clock. And Tommy, give us an update on the Camogie.
Yeah, Fecal Killanena 113, Clooney Quinn 12 points, so that all important goal in the first half, I think, from Robin Conway is the difference between the teams, as with 10 minutes gone, so they're after the second half water break, so 10 minutes to go. Mike
Cotter still on, and again the referee is down there. There's a yellow card being waved down there. I think it's Martin O'Leary that picked up the yellow card back there, so maybe it was a leg injury, but maybe it was assisted in some shape or form. He's back on his feet, thankfully, as Mike Cotter. Martin O'Leary moving away, but it's a yellow card for the man coming in there in replacement, of course, for the injured Gary Brendan as well on the far side with 18 on his back. Where are we? We're back with Jacob Lucknane in the middle of the field, about to take this free once again. What a glorious day it is here. The sun all the way right around the four corners of Cusack Park at the moment. Jacob Lucknane, that crucial free dropping in, and the ball goes in and goes over the bar from the stick of Jacob Lucknane, and that's a huge free even at this stage of the game for O'Callaghan's Mills. They hadn't scored for quite a while. Now it's 10 points to 1 goal and 5. Ballyea lead by 2. It's into the centre of the field. The ball break is going to be picked up by Patrick Donlan. Now he goes back. Martin O'Leary comes in, takes the ball. Aidan O'Gorman fighting tooth and nail. Kieran Cooney waiting for their breaking ball in the middle of the field, but it comes back to this side of the field, and Jerry Cooney coming over it, and Jerry Cooney striking the ball into the wide open space on the attack. Brian Carrick is facing his own goal, but he has the ball in his hand ahead of Colin Crahan. Back to Jack Brown. Jack Brown running into traffic, challenged out there outside the middle of the field by Mike McGrath. He's been pulled, and it's going to be a free once again right down here out inside their own 45 metre line. That's a measured ball back out to Pierce Lillis from the middle of the field, dropping this one down. Killian Nugent goes up and brings the ball down off the air, catches the ball, looks up, strikes the ball into the centre of the field, and again it's going to be picked up out there by Aidan O'Gorman. Aidan O'Gorman chipping a neat ball right into the space that goes. They go up for the ball, breaks out to this side of the field. It's going to be a free in for the Millsmen right in front of the goal. Jack Brown protesting, but he came in there. Gary Cooney was the man on the ground. It's going to be Colin Crahan that will eventually take the free here, and again about to take it fast, but the referee Wayne King is there. He's on the notebook at the moment. There's 2 between the sides. It's Ballyea leading by 2 points here, and that surely will be won by the time Colin Crahan possibly strikes this. Again, Gary Coney just receiving treatment, dead straight in front of the goal. Quite a number of hold-ups in this first half, Tommy. We're heading in for the 5 or 6. Well, we said officially 5. We'll be close to the 7 by the time I said the referee blows the half-time.
Yeah, the physio has been on both sides, I suppose, with that hold-up for Oisin Hennessy at one end and that extended hold-up for Mike Cotter at the other end. But Colin Crehan should have a tap over, and in fairness, the Mills needed there. Jacob Lucknan had a free, so Colin Crehan should tap it over and make the game a 1-point game.
Let's see what happens. That's exactly what he does. He must be listening to us. 10 points for ballyea, 1 goal and 6 for O'Callaghan's Mills. There's 36 minutes on the clock and play continues as the poke out is long and long down into Killian Brennan. Gets the breaking ball, but it comes out once again to Mike Cotter, setting it up along the line, but that's broken up to the far side of the field by Martin O'Leary. Martin O'Leary chipping this one into the zone. Owen Donlan is in there. He's trying to get it, but his Killian Nugent comes out, snaps the ball out of the air, delivers a brilliant ball down the centre to Brian Donlan. Brian Donlan running into traffic, gets it back to Conor Henry. Now he's going to turn back, he's going to strike this, placing the ball inside the ball to the far side of the field, but again the referee has penalised the ballyea men, and it's going to be a free in once again for the Millsmen, for Colin Crehan possibly, that could level the sides as we are very, very close to the half-time break here. And it's Colin Crehan 35 metres out at the moment to the right of the goal just as we look at it, but it's a golden opportunity for the Millsmen to draw level here. 2 very, very important points we were saying before they got to the break. They've got one. Can Colin Crehan get the other? Of course he can. Pops the ball over the bar, the white flag is raised eventually, and the sides are level in the park. 10 points for ballyea, 1 goal and 7 points for O'Callaghan's Mills. It was just a dispute here about it at the moment, but there is no doubt about it. Brendan O'Connell is on the ball, getting the ball up along the line, but James Murphy just can't get a stick to it. Ball goes out over the line. It's going to be a line ball. Niall Donovan is back there. He has the hands are just open. He's going to place the ball to this side of the field, about to place it very, very shortly. Is Niall Donovan taking the ball. Now he takes it back and he's going to place the ball on the 45 metre line, right on the corner of the 45 metre line. Wayne King is looking for the ball, so there'll be no more action here in this first half. He's going to tap it up, and that's exactly what he does. Chips the ball almost into the hands of Wayne King. The half-time whistle blows here in the park. It's level at ballyea, 10 points. O'Callaghan's Mills 1-7 here, and so much to talk about in that opening. There's the 37 minutes.
Yeah, and again, I suppose up to the water break, it was advantage O'Callaghan's Mills. They were on top with that goal, but after the break, the ballyea had came out and they got 4 or 5 points without reply, and it looked like that they were taking over the game. But in fairness, the Mills have crept back into it again with Jacob Lucknan and Colin Crehan's free. So it's all square at half time and still all to play for again. It's swinging from end to end. The one feature is that Wayne King is allowing quick puck outs to go, so it doesn't give any great opportunity for any of the teams to sit back, and because they have to be on their game, it's swinging from end to end. But I suppose the real the star of the first half has been some of those outstanding scores from Kelly. What do you do with him? I mean, he's just class personified. When he doesn't even look, he makes it, I don't know, to the rest of us mere mortals, he makes it just look so easy.
Surprise. Half time here in Cusack Park. It's ballyea 10 points, O'Callaghan's Mills 1 goal and 7. Do join us again for much more chat just after these.
And welcome down here to pitchside to viewers of Clare TV. And we have a potboiler, not alone just in the heat, but actually in the game. It's half time, and the outsiders of Callans Mills, according to the bookies anyway, are 1-7 and ballyea 10 points. Joining me here are John Condon and Andrew Fahey. I suppose, John, the story of the game was a great start by the Mills and the comeback by ballyea and the Mills into rally.
Yeah, super start by the Mills. Really came out with all guns blazing. Even in the stand, sideline, everything, they were totally in Ballyea's face, and really aggressive, both on and off the field, and really kind of put Ballyea to the sword at the first 10-15 minutes. But in fairness to Ballyea, then they responded well, and say in a 5-minute period there they must have got 5 points in a row, and Tony and Millis to the fore, and then they got a really strong hold on the game. But in fairness, then they've responded in the last number of minutes. Up to half time they've got 2 or 3 frees, and they've responded to go in with I suppose a deserving draw at half time.
I suppose, Andrew, prior to the game, I suppose the Mills would have been delighted with a start like that, and to be going into half time, would they even feel a bit disappointed maybe?
Yeah, I think so. The Mills would have played Ballyea in a semi-final before, got a similar start here a couple of years back. The one thing I noticed about the Mills is they would literally, you could see in the warm-up there, they were very, very focused. It was very, very vocal, and they brought all of that to the pitch. I think, look at Ballyea with some good, very, very good hurlers in their team. They're always going to get a purple patch. I think the Mills have done well to be still in the game in ways, but maybe another couple of points here or there. Tony and Niall have got some great scores for Ballyea. With, if you were a defender, you'd say to yourself you couldn't have really done much more about some of the scores that they've actually hit. But it's a good contest so far now.
I suppose from the Ballyea's perspective, they, I suppose, down 3 or 4 points would never bother them, because straight after Henry got the goal, the Ballyea just rattled over a few points. I suppose from their perspective, they're happy now.
Yeah, look, I suppose on the balance of things, I think the Mills would be happier maybe going in at half time. They've come back from 3 points down. Ballyea, their main lads have been firing. Tony's hit 4 points and hit another 3 wide, so he's well on form. I'm just kind of surprised that the Mills haven't really put someone on him to kind of follow him or put a bit of more pressure on him. He seems to have a free run, which is unlike what other teams would do probably against Tony. But yeah, and Niall Deasy he's had 3 super points from play and scoring his frees as well. So yeah, they're well in this game, and look, it's all to play for in the second half.
I suppose, Andrew, who would the 3 or 4 players you would pick out from the O'Callaghan's Mill side have stood up, or anyone that you might have said heretofore has been a headline act that's done their bit?
I've been very, very impressed with Conor Henry. I think this is his first year in the team now for a number of years, and his energy around the middle of the field, it's causing Ballyea problems. I've been very, very impressed with him. Colin Crehan as well. Colin has taken over the frees there this year and striking them very, very well. But the Mills have got a lot of experience too, and Conor Cooney and Paddy Donlan as well, and they're doing their jobs, and there's been no goal chance created up there. So once the Mills stay compact and tight in the game, it's all to play for, and he just has to realise, I suppose, that Ballyea potentially will get more shots, and it's just how the Mills can cope around the middle third now in the next 15 minutes, especially going for the last water break.
So the water break again is important. If the Mills could stay alive, John, and I mean we're talking about the Mills staying alive, it could be Ballyea that could be struggling. The Mills probably need a positive start again this quarter.
Yeah, they need to bring out massive energy in this first 10 minutes, because look, if Ballyea get a bit of a stronghold in the game and get up a few points, their tails will be up and they'll be hard to reel in then. So yeah, it's really important that they get a good start and probably get a bit more out of Gary up front. Like, he's been unlucky a few times, but yeah, they need to get the ball into him and get him firing, because against Inagh Kilnamona in the second half, he came really much into the game and won them the game really in the second half, when maybe a bit more attention was put onto Colin Crehan.
I suppose one thing, you look at the Ballyea forwards are tasty enough, but throughout the year the Mills forwards have delivered. Crehan, Cooney, Cotter, Jacob McNairn especially. So you'll be looking for a lot from Jacob more now in the second half. Yeah,
they have. They're a physical team, the Mills, so they have the option to go long down on top of some of these players. And as John alluded to there, if they can get Gary on a little bit more ball, I think every time it goes in, it will look dangerous inside. It's a great battle between himself and Paul Flanagan in there, and you see immediately the minute the ball goes in, Jack is heading straight back to field, to try and cut off that option and try and double up as much as they can. But I think there's a good chance here for the Mills definitely going forward. The next few minutes, 15 minutes, will be very, very important in the context of this game.
I suppose just to retract a little bit back to the evening, I suppose a dour, hard, tough point for point game between 600 Bridge and Éire Óg. Éire Óg failed again as a third occasion to take out the bridge.
Yeah, look, I suppose Rogue would be really disappointed. They had the chance; it was there for him to win it. With the Bridge being the Bridge, really experienced team, really just knew how to grind it out, like they always do. And look, they're delighted to be into a final now and trying to go for that 2 in a row, which I know that John, Tim Crow and Davey have been really alluding to in the last number of weeks. So yeah, look, it'll be interesting to see who comes out here and to face them. But I suppose going forward, they're the favourites going into the final.
I suppose I'll hit you in the spot now, Andrew. The intermediate semi-finals on tonight, later on down below in 600 Bridge between St Brian's and Scariff. All this is, I know you'd have a fair idea of some of the teams. What would you feel that's going to go in a 2 sentences?
I do think it'll be a very, very good game. I think it'll be very high scoring. I think Scariff had a great win over Tulla the last day. Killaloo, were pushed extra time by Corofin. If I was pushed, I think Scariff come out on top.
I suppose final word now before we hand back up to the two boys if they're ready for us. What would you think this match is going to go?
I went with ballyea at the start, and I think they'll come out and about 2 or 3 points.
And Andrew?
I think Ballyea's experience will shine through.
Again, just the result was on air today. The intermediate football semi-final is now a meeting of Dura Bearfield who beat Shanagaze last night 2-11 to 7 points, and this afternoon in a brilliant start by Corofin they defeated the challenge of Kildysert on a scoreline of 115 to 11 points. So I think if the lads are ready above in the studio, we'll hand you back up to Sil and to Tommy.
Scoreline of 116 to 115. Nervy moments there. I was just watching it on the television there. Clooney got a goal in the last minute, but 3 minutes of injury time, it's up. Heartbreak last year. We lost a great final to Dora Bearfield. We're worthy winners on the day, but today we're back. We're up senior, I think, and that was the main thing for the play. Congratulations to all.
Absolutely. Well, we're back here. Referee Wayne King just waiting for everybody to go back into their positions here. Replacing the county final again. Just 2 years ago was it Ballyea, but it was 1993. It was the last appearance for O'Callaghan's Mills in a county final. They had a purple patch in the mid 80s, early 90s as well. 3 county finals in 86, 1990 of course, and in 1993 was their last appearance in a county senior hurling final. You have to go back to 1937 before they lifted the county title as well. Jack Brown going back to take this line ball or deep inside his own half of the field. It's level pegging here, and again waiting for that bite to come back into the game as well. So many hold-ups in that first half, but again still going back is Jack Brown placing the ball here according to the linesman on the far side of the field. He's heading for the corner flag. They're arguing now at the moment just about inches right down below to the far corner. Inside his own 13-metre line is Jack Brown to take this line ball. Facing up to is Angus Keane. Also Colin Crehan is back there as well, and Jack Brown goes willing over the heads of the whole lot of them. Drives the ball, but again is driving it through Aidan O'Gorman from way out the field. It's high, it's dropping in. That's a superb score. He made the run right off in the centre half back position, snapped the ball out of the air and slotted it over the bar, and once again the Mills go back into the lead here. 1 goal and 8 points to Ballyea's 10 points. To the middle of the field, it's challenged out there and won back there by Niall Deasy. Still going through the centre. He's like a man that's making ground, shortens the grip on the stick and snaps the ball straight over the bar. Only seconds on the clock here for the Mills to go back into 1 point lead, but Niall Deasy levelling matters from the puck out, and Killian Nugent is back to our left. He's busy slotting the ball, looking for Brian Donlan. Superb placing by the captain, winning that ball, challenged out there by James Murphy to the far side of the field. Ball going out over the line, and it's going to be a line ball for Ballyea again and for Jack Brown, as facing up to this Killian Brennan, also facing up to this Brian Donlan. Right behind that is Conor Henry and James Murphy. Pierce Lillis behind that with Kieran Cooney. As Jack Brown about to strike this one, and again delivers the ball right up through the centre. It's one back Matthew O'Leary. Oh, what a ball. Back out to Tony Kelly from way out on the sideline, and he slots the ball straight over the bar. No matter how much practice you do, you could not rehearse that. It's a superb ball. Marty O'Leary running onto the ball, just flicked it out to Tony Kelly, and you can finish the rest of it yourselves. The Ballyea got back into the lead here with that superb score, but they're on the attack. Ball going right through the centre, trying to be picked up. It is picked up to the middle of the field by Gary Cody, and it goes over the bar. Once again the sides are level. 4 points inside the opening 2.5 minutes here at the restart of the second half. It's 1 goal and 9 to 12 points here, level pegging in the park.
Yeah, I suppose the most dangerous time to concede a score is after you get a score, but it's hopping from one end to the other, so But the game has really opened up, with both sets of forwards getting good quality ball.
And it's Jacob McNair trying to flick the ball out to the far side, but James Murphy jumps in for the hurling ball like he does with the football to the far side. Back out to Killian Brennan, mentioned football, the inter-county full-back driving the ball into the middle of the field. But again, Conor Cooney getting it out of danger, out to the middle of the field, picked up, and it's Aidan O'Gorman setting up the attack. Long ball down into ball, breaking it to the centre. Mike McGrath is back there trying to get control of it, goes to the ground, and it's going to be a free here once again for the ballyea men, and frustration for the Mills, but it's going to be Jack Brown about to take it, now placing this ball outside the 45 metre line, still about to take this one, now moving back, now looking around, delivers this ball, diagonal ball into the wide open space, looking and finding Niall Deasy, but the ball goes astray. It comes back to Niall Donovan, back to Conor Henry. He looks up, snaps the ball into the wide open space, picked up by Colin Crehan from way out the field. It's going to drop in. It should be Oisín Hennessy's, and it is all day long. He has all the time in the world, and he decides to deliver that ball right down the centre. Once again, they're going up for the ball, breaks into the centre, picked up by Jacob Lucknan, but it pops out of his hand, comes out to this side of the field to Niall Deasy, selling the dummy out to Tony Kelly. Now he'll make room for himself, now he'll turn, now he'll strike, and now the white flag goes up as he sends the ball straight over the bar once again from the stick of Tony Kelly, and ballyea go back into the lead, 13 points to O'Callaghan's Mills, 1 goal to 9, 4 minutes gone.
Yeah, and again, I think that's his 7th point of the game, so he's really on form, and again, just the Mills are just struggling to come to terms with how they're going to mark him.
And so to Brian Donlan sends this one in, but it goes to the left of the goal and it goes wide. It's going to be Oisín Hennessy in a hurry to puck it out. Wayne King in the middle of the field, moving back, keeping all eyes all over the field here as the puck out is short to Paul Flanagan. Paul Flanagan delivering a ball through the centre out to Brendan O'Connell. Brendan O'Connell putting the ball on the stick. That gives him time to look up. That gives him time to drive the ball out to this side of the field. Owen Donlan taking the ball, but Aidan O'Gorman arriving. He controls the ball to the far side of the field, and again it's going to be a hold up. The referee going back there, he's going to have just Owen Donlan is the man that's going to receive treatment, and Wayne King back out there at the moment. Owen Donlan just, the ball was coming towards him, just waited for the ball, but Aidan O'Gorman came like a man driving a steamroller out to the far side of the field, and now the play resumes once again, says Wayne King. Back to our left hand side, O'Callaghan's Mills with this free, 13 points for ballyea, 1-9 for O'Callaghan's Mills, and the free is going to be taken back here by Conor Cooney, by Patrick Donlan, about to strike this one out to this side of the field, and he does that. The ball down to the centre, but must never take it. As Peter Casey just goes inside him at the moment, whipping the ball into the centre, handball style from the world champion, coming away with that ball. Angus Keane is back there, he's trying to snap the ball out of it as well, but it comes out and picked up by Brian Carey fisting the ball back to this side of the field, back out to Jack Brown again, opening it up out to Morgan Gary up along the line on the far side, challenge, ball goes to the ground by Niall Donovan, trying to slip it away. That's brilliant stuff, getting the ball back out to this side of the field. Come on Cooney from way out, it's high, it's dropping in, and it's dropping straight over the bar. Once again it's out to the middle of the field, one out there to the middle of the field, and it's won by Mike McGrath, was the man that started that over. Sean Cutter was the man that started that over on the middle of the field. It's 1-10 to 13 points. This level pegging into the middle of the field, picked up by Jacob Lucknan. He releases the ball out, but again Angus Keane, not a great idea to be trying to tap the ball over the head of Angus Keane as well. Through the ball to the referee, and it's going to be a free for the Millsmen from deep inside their own half of the field here to the middle of the field. It was Mike McGrath who slotted that one over there just a few moments ago, and it's going to be a free, and Jacob Lucknan is going to take this ball inside his own 65 metre line here, and again whatever little breeze is in the park is right behind him at the moment as the linesman going in, just indicating the spot. Scoreboard's level on the left is 7 minutes on the clock. Your commentary compliments are blossomed on the go at centre point in Hermitage in Ennis. Jacob Lucknan about to strike this one from deep inside his own half of the field, and this is the strike. Can this one is way out the field. It looks good, it looks excellent. That's because it is spot on from Jacob Lucknan deep inside his own half of the field, and the Mills got back into the lead. Brendan O'Connell setting up a ballyea attack into the space that goes, looking for Martin O'Leary, challenged out there by Mike Cotter on the far side of the field. Ball on the ground, still there to be won, comes back out to the middle of the field. Morgan Gary tried to get it, but now it's Tony Kelly on the attack. He's still going to Niall Deasy, trying to Kelly going striking. Yes, a superb goal goal. Tony Kelly won the ball. Great work over there on the far side of the field by Martin O'Leary, but Tony Kelly won the ball facing his own goal. DC was running off the shoulder. Kelly kept going into the back of the net, and ballyea go into a 2-point lead, 113 to 1 goal and 11, with just almost 8 minutes gone here to the far side of the field. And once again it's the Mills men on the attack, breezing through the centre, driving through, trying to win the ball off the stick, gets it into the wide open space, but Brian Carey comes out, gets it out to Redemption, out to the middle of the field. Great work out to the far side of the field, back out to Brian Donlan taking the ball back there from Aidan Fall, but again it comes out to the middle of the field. It's picked up inside by Oisin Hennessy, out to Paul Flanagan, putting the ball on the stick, up along the line, ball up to the middle of the field, on the attack once again, ball breaking through the centre, but it's won back by Conor Cooney. Now he has time to look up, gets the ball into the wide open space. Once again they go up for it. It's won by Peter Casey. He's facing his own goal. Now he wins the ball. He has Morgan Gary on his shoulder, but he decides to send it to Pierce Lillis. He's been challenged into the space that goes, still trying to win that ball on the far side of the field. Is Niall Deasy striking the ball from way out the field. It's in, it's razor sharp, and it's straight over the bar. Niall Deasy once again edging the ballyea men back into a 3-point lead here with almost 9 minutes gone here in the second half.
Yeah, and again, had a lot to do, took on the 2 Mills defenders and slotted over the bar. Great, lovely strike from Niall Deasy.
Again it's on the attack to the far side of the field. It's picked up by Colin Crahan, trying to get inside. He gets inside Brian Carey. He's still going through with the ball. Now the ball just pops out of his hand, and Brian Carey is there to tidy it up. Gets it out to Jack Brown. Jack Brown over the left shoulder, sending ballyea into the attack. It's up and down the field here. Conor Cooney goes on, releases the ball out. Kelly is on the run again in front of the goal. It's a shot. Oh, what a save from Killian Nugent. Gets the ball out to this side of the field. Pat Donlan trying to tidy up, and again coming away with it fouled. What a magnificent save from Killian Nugent, keeping the Millsmen in the game here, with the clock telling us 9.5 minutes gone, 3 between them. That could easily have been 6.
Yeah, again, Kelly, found himself. He's popping up all over the place. We spoke about what Aidan O'Gorman can do, but now instead of coming out to the 65, he's got in and he's had 2 goal chances. One he stuck away. Brilliant save by Killian Nugent, because when Kelly hits a shot, that rebounded back out nearly to the 21. Such was the strength in the shot. But the Mills living dangerously, but hopefully that'll galvanise them now, and they'll go down and they'll get a score. I think Niall Deasy down at the moment.
It looks like Niall Deasy possibly down at the moment. We're looking around there. It's not Martin O'Leary or Tony Kelly. It's not Owen Donlan as well. It possibly is. It is Niall Deasy that's down injured there. Took a knock going through the centre. He's the man that released the ball to Tony Kelly. But what a save, and what a crucial moment this is for O'Callaghan's Mills in this game. They may look back on the 10th minute of this. They may look back on that save in the middle of the field. The referee is out in the middle. He's having a word with let's see who he's having a word with. James Murphy at the moment, and there's a yellow card been given to the ballyea number 8, as we said, the midfielder from Clondegad as well, and James Murphy taking that yellow card for the team to the far side of the field. Play resumes. The moment there's 3 between them. Ballyea leading by 3, but it's back out to Colin Crahan, looking for room to the middle of the field. Now he wins the ball back. He's going through. He's looking for support. The problem is he's surrounded with black and amber jerseys right down on the 13 metre line. Is there a breaking ball? Jack Brown is minding the house just behind that, and he's the man that gets the ball. Comes out and looking for support. Gets it out. Guess who? Out to Tony Kelly on his own 13 metre line, driving the ball into the middle of the field. Aidan O'Gorman is about to attack it. He does that. He attacked in the first, trying to get control of it now, and the ball goes straight to the middle of the field. It's won by Martin O'Leary. Now it's ballyea on the attack, delivering the ball out to this side of the field, out to Owen Donlan. Wins a brilliant ball, trying to get inside, challenged by Conor Cooney. Releases the brilliant ball back to Martin O'Leary. Martin O'Leary, it'll take a hurricane to blow that one in to the left hand side. It hasn't arrived, and so the ball goes to the left and it goes wide. 1-14 for ballyea, 1 goal and 11 for O'Callaghan's Mills, with just coming up to 12 minutes gone here in this second half, and the play resumes fast and furious. It's Jack Brown breaking up the Mills attack. He wins the ball back into the space. Into the zone it goes, the ball breaking inside. Conor Cooney is trying to come onto the head of Niall Deasy on the far side of the field. Morgan Gary waiting for that breaking ball. Niall Donovan goes back. He's the man that tidies up the house, gets it across to the far side of the field and out to Jerry Cooney. Cooney driving the ball down the field at the moment for O'Callaghan's Mills. Into the space it goes. A lot of work back there to be carried out by Gary Cooney, but he's been challenged out there by Paul Flanagan. His bad, and it's Jack Brown, and the two of them together is bad enough for any player to be trying to beat one of them, not alone two of them. That's what happened. The ball goes in. Killian Nugent now controlling the ball inside and delivers a composed ball out to Aidan O'Gorman. Aidan O'Gorman again running into the traffic. Killian Brennan arriving there just to break it up. Now Aidan O'Gorman gets the second chance. He hand passes it out to Conor Henry. Conor Henry trying to get control of it. He does. Scoops the ball down to the side to Jacob McNairn. Challenged by Ian Gaskin. Ball goes into the centre. Chase Murphy wins it back for ballyea. Up along the line to Tony Kelly, and Kelly from way out the field delivers this one in. It's high, it's dropping in, and it's dropping straight over the bar once again from the stick of Tony Kelly. He must be on 1-8, maybe 1-9 at the moment in this, and ballyea have 1-15 on the board. O'Callaghan's Mills have 1-11, and there's 13 minutes gone. And again there's going to be changes right down here at the moment. Coming off, we'll see in a moment who's coming onto the side. It's going to be looking back, still looking.
Cormac Murphy is on for number 18, Michael McGrath.
To the middle of the field. Yes, that's exactly what's happening down here. And also coming on to the Aaron Griffin is coming on as well, and it's Owen Donlan that's coming off the ballyea side. So we'll just keep an eye on all those. And Mike McGrath is off, and we're still looking down to see on the mill side. Everybody back in action here, and the puck out from Killian Nugent right down to the middle of the field. Again, been racing out to win that one and getting control of it from far out the field. Dropping ball in, but the ball goes to the left, and it goes wide on this occasion from the stick of Cormac Murphy for O'Callaghan's Mills. It's still 1-15 to 1-11. ballyea lead by 4. We're 40 minutes in here to the second half. We spoke about a water break, and I'm sure the Mills can't wait for it to happen right now. It's probably a minute or a minute and a half away, but it's ballyea in control of it at the moment, trying to get that ball away. It comes out to Niall Deasy. Deasy driving through the centre. Now he's off the left, and again has time to look, but again tops that ball. Killian Nugent goes in. He comes out with the ball, and as confident as they come, catching the ball in the air just ahead of Martin O'Leary as well. Now the referee telling him to move back ever so slightly. It's going to be a free out for Killian Nugent and O'Callaghan's Mills. For our commentary compliments of Blossoms on the go at Centre Point in Hermitage Garden Centre, and the ball coming right down the centre. Here it is. Up goes Jack Brown, up in the air he goes, comes down with the ball, whipping it out of the sky, and again being challenged, and it's going to be a free out for ballyea. Talk about confident play from a centre half back. Superb from Jack Brown. It's going to be Tony Kelly that's going to take the free. Now the breeze, whatever breeze, now it's harmless enough, but it is there. It's in the park, and that's right into his face at the moment. Now the free is taken fast. It's delivered out to Jack Brown. Jack Brown getting it back to Tony Kelly. Now he has time to make the dummy run, and he does that, and again he takes a knock, and he goes to the ground here, just taking a knock there. Accidental, says Brian Donlan. Again the referee is going to have a word. He was trying to flick the ball over the head of Brian Donlan. Brian Donlan was trying to do likewise as well, to flick the ball away from Tony Kelly, and it resulted in Tony Kelly just taking a knock, going to the ground here, and the referee issuing a yellow card to the O'Callaghan's Mills captain. They're 4 behind at the moment. ballyea 1-15, O'Callaghan's Mills 1 goal and 11, and we're very, very close to the water break, possibly the next break and play. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, and again, I suppose again Tony Kelly looked up to strike it long. Jack Brown, ever alert, made it, give it back to 1-2, and in fairness to Brian Donlan, Kelly sold the dummy. Brian Donlan went for the initial block down, and just Kelly changed direction. He's so fast and slippery that he just walked into no malicious, I think. And in fairness, great sportsmanship by Brian Donlan, went over and tapped him on the head and apologised.
Absolutely, you wouldn't expect anything or get anything different from Brian Donlan, let me tell you that. It's going to be once again Niall Deasy with this free for ballyea in the centre of the field. Is from way out. He's hanging in the air at the moment. The umpire is looking up, but he's waving his hands as the ball goes to the left, and it goes wide. 1-15 for ballyea, 1-11 for O'Callaghan's Mills, and the water break has just arrived on 16 and a half minutes, Tommy. And again, we talk about it, we might as well continue to talk about it. The Mills will be absolutely thrilled to get back into that huddle for the closing 15 plus minutes.
Again, yeah, but I think, as the game is developing, I think, ballyea are playing the game on their terms, and the Mills are chasing. the Mills will probably need a goal here to bring down that 4-point deficit, back down to manageable terms. I'm not sure are they getting enough clean possession, or have they the players to score 4 or 5 points like we know Kelly and DC can do. I suppose we spoke about Kelly's influence in the first half and what Aidan O'Gorman can do. Well, at the other end, Brian Donnelly's coming away, but he's not getting the ball, and Jack Brown is dictating the play from the back there. When I look out and I see whether it's the jerseys or the white helmet, it looks like Pádraig Walsh from Kilkenny. He reminds me of, and the way he soared into the clouds there for the last one, he's dictating the play. Paul Flanagan is tightly marking Gary Cooney, so the Mills options are limited. Crehan seems to be their only outlet, and they're struggling around the middle third. They're getting Pierce Lillis and James Murphy are winning breaking ball, and they're distributing it to the. And I think the one thing that ballyea have over the Mills is that they don't panic when they have the ball. They'll pop it 20 yards rather than have a shot for 50, and that comes down to experience and know-how.
One of the things that can happen to a team like the Mills at the moment, the way they find themselves, subconsciously, there's so much ball coming out of the ballyea defence that they're kind of moving back up the field, which resulting then on ballyea holding their backline formation, but the Mills are missing a man or two every time the ball comes down. That will have to change for them to get any chance of winning this game, and maybe get more players forward. But that's one thing, but to keep them forward then is another.
Again, I think they're going to have to work the ball through the lines, and get it nearer to the goals to get that shot off. But what Paul Flanagan and Jack Brown are bringing, they bring great presence there and experience, in the centre of that defence there. So they're not going to be panicking. Again, I suppose the Mills are slightly tiring at this stage. I suppose, it is a warm day, and that bit of experience and know-how is the difference at the moment. Plus the fact of the Kelly DC factor.
Wayne King back out in the middle of the field. ballyea and O'Callaghan's Mills taking up their formation as well, getting ready for the closing 15 minutes here of the second of the County Senior Hurling Championship semi-finals. Six Bellbridge awaiting the winners of this clash here. There's going to be changes. Tig Lynch might be a man that's taking up the action for the ballyea men very, very shortly. We will keep an eye on Killian Nugent, who's going to get the play up and running here. 15 minutes, give or take 1 or 2 here in the second of the County Senior Hurling semi-finals, with your commentary compliments of Blossoms on the go. The dummy has been sold on the far side of the field. Coming into the middle is Niall Donovan, trying to get that ball again, trying to move the ball around to the middle of the field. It's Mike McGrath that's on the ball at the moment. Niall Donovan now coming into the ball, but now the ball going away again to this side of the field. Conor Henry getting the stick in there as well, and it's going to be a free for the Millsmen in the centre of the field, getting ready to strike this one. And we said it at the start of the second half, there's going to be changes on the side back down here to our left hand side. It's going to be Sean O'Gorman that's coming on, and it looks like it's going to be Niall O'Donovan, the man that's coming off the side. Niall Donovan is coming off the side right down here to our left hand side. Let's see what change that's going to make. We mentioned just before half time how important that free for Jacob Loughdane for O'Callaghan's Mills was. He scored that one. Now he has an opportunity to score yet another crucial free for the Millsmen. It's high, distance absolutely zero problem, and direction spot on. Sends the ball straight over the bar, and that's a huge free from O'Callaghan's Mills and Jacob Loughdane as well. There's only 3 between them, and right now there's 20 and a half minutes on the clock. You can write it down to somewhere between 12 and 14 minutes to get a place in the county final for the very first time for the Millsmen since 1993. Again to the middle of the field. It's won out there by Niall Deasy, still driving it forward, shortens the stick again, and again planting the ball in. The umpire comes out, waves his hands as the ball goes to the right, and it goes wide. It's going to be Killian Nugent. Tony Brohan is the assistant treasurer of the Clare County Board, and he told me his niece is Shirley, who owns the Blossoms on the go. So there's always the drawback, isn't there? Out to the middle of the field is the strike from the Mills on the attack. This is a dangerous ball dropping in. Paul Flanagan keeping an eye on Gary Cooney. He wins the ball back, gets it out to Angus Keane. Angus Keane coming away with it. Ball going back again, trying to get that ball into his hand is Gary Cooney, trying to roll the ball out to the middle of the field out there, trying to get that ball into his hand. It's still going nowhere. Now it's one back out to the middle, trying to strike it. It's Gary Cooney from way out the field. It's going in. It's a superb score for Gary Cooney as he sends the ball. No, says the referee. The ball has gone to the right and wide, and again the ballyea men protesting down on the line. The umpire was going for the white flag at that moment, and we had just complimented Gary Cooney on a superb point, but at the end of the day it was wide. 115 to 112, still 3 between them.
Yeah, again, it came out of a ruck. Gary Cooney had no right to win it and struck it over his shoulder, Tony Kelly-esque, but unfortunately wide. Kelly on the attack up at the other end.
But he leaves it to Martin O'Leary. Ball going astray, picked up inside, still trying to get back into his hands, and great work inside to the middle of the field, coming out with that ball. It's going to be Mike Cotter trying to strike the ball. Brian Donlan going up, ball going to the ground, trying to win that ball. Is Jacob Lucknan. Now he wins the ball, and Jacob Lucknan driving forward. His father Pat was manager of the Mills team for the last 2 or 3 years, and from way out the field, superb from Jacob Lucknan, winning that ball in the middle of the field. He didn't have work to do, he did it and slotted the ball over the bar. And once again Cusack Park has come alive in the second of the county hurling semi-finals. There's 2 between them at the moment. There's 23 minutes almost on the clock, 7 plus additional time, and again the Mills are fighting. Conor Henry, the man who ignited the park in the opening moments in this game, is now driving it forward. He's looking for support, he can't get any over. Carrying, says the referee, it's going to be a free for ballyea in the middle of the field, and it's going to be Niall Deasy coming out to take this one. And I saw Niall Deasy a few years ago, Ty Lynch getting ready to come on, I think, on the sideline. Niall Deasy before Tommy, we saw him taking a free here a couple of years ago. They were down a single point right out here on the sideline, about 65, 70 metres out, and he absolutely was straight over the black spot. It was a superb free that stood out for quite a while. Not quite as tricky, but it's still in the dead centre of the field from the stick of Niall Deasy, about to strike this one. ballyea at the moment lead by 2. Let's see, Niall Deasy high, the ball is in the air, there's a tail on it, and it goes to the right and it goes wide. Changes on the side, Martin O'Leary is off, Ty Lynch is on to the ballyea side, and to the middle of the field. It's going to be Ty Lynch that's coming on to the middle of the field. Aaron Griffin came on just a few moments ago. Martin O'Leary coming off. There's 2 between them in the park. 24 minutes exactly on the clock. From the stick of Killian Newton, a long ball into the wide open space. It's picked up inside to the middle of the field, striking the ball from way out the field. It's highest dropping in from Cormac Murphy. The ball goes in, but it goes to the left of the goal and it goes wide. There's still 2 between them as Oisin Hennessy getting ready for the puck out. Back right down here to our right hand side. The sun is glaring into his eyes here in the park. It's a long ball into the space that goes into the zone. Ball goes to the ground. Aidan O'Gorman trying to pick it up, but again it comes out to Niall Deasy. Deasy has the opportunity. He'll take it, of course he will. He slots the ball straight over the bar. Absolutely razor sharp from Niall Deasy. One of those forwards on his game, so difficult. The powering run that he makes through the centre of any defence they're playing for, and again doing that and slotting it over the bar. 3 between them in the park. ballyea 116, O'Callaghan's Mills 113. Almost 25 minutes gone. Jacob Lucknan was going for that one, but he was fouled, and it's going to be a free in for O'Callaghan's Mills. Who's going to take this one? Jacob Lucknan is the man, of course, that's going to take this one. Now he's inside the 65 metre line. Oisin Hennessy still has the hand up to his head, blocking the sun off, glaring into his eyes. Jacob Lucknan throwing the piece of grass up in the air. He knows well where this breeze is coming from. He did it from way back out the field just a few moments ago, but every single ball that O'Callaghan's Mills are playing right now is going to be so important for them. This is another one from Jacob Lucknan. The umpires look up, he races out, he raises the white flag as Jacob Lucknan sends the ball straight over the bar, and now it's back to 2 again in the park, and it's Oisin Hennessy with the puck out to Paul Flanagan, the ever reliable Paul Flanagan, chipping the ball into the zone, looking for Ty Lynch on the far side of the field. The ball batted down, there to be won, running onto this Pierce Lillis, goes to the ground. Now it's picked up once again. Gary Coney slipping the ball out to the far side of the field. Brian Donlan gets on his bike. Mike McGrath is back there. Now the ball slips into the centre. Jerry Coney was on it. Now Gary is on, or Colin Crahan is on it, getting into Conor Henry again. Henry trying to sell the dummy, gets it back out to this side, out to Jacob Lucknan. Now he has time to get it up. He has time to strike it, but the ball goes in, but it goes to the left of the goal and it goes wide. Opportunity lost on that occasion for the Millsmen. There's There's 2 between them at the moment, and again the referee going back and look, I thought it might be Jack Brown. It's not. It's Brendan O'Connell that took a knock on the far side of the field in the hand. He's just receiving treatment. As we look at the clock, there's 26 and a half minutes gone. It's there to be won.
Yeah, again, the Mills haven't gone away. They've whittled back that what was a 4-point lead, back to 2 points with there's 4 minutes of normal time plus I suppose, I don't know, maybe 5-6 minutes left, so there's no need to panic. There's 2 points in it if they get the chance, but they have to nail them, because at the other end, if they get the same chances, ballyea will score them. DC on the ball again now.
Again, out to this side of the field, he gets it out to Tony Kelly. Kelly has a look, he has a strike, and he sends the ball straight over the bar, straight off the hand of Niall DC. Tony Kelly running up along the line, changes on the ballyea side. Coming off is going to be Morgan Gary. Coming on very, very shortly is going to be Ryan Griffin, but it's order restored as the Mills are on the attack to the middle, right through the centre, still driving it through, been fouled, and it's going to be a free in for the Mills and for Jacob Lucknan. Again, it's 55 metres out to the far side of the field. Morgan Gary is off, and coming onto the side, it's going to be Ryan Griffin onto the ballyea side. In the closing moments of this game, Jacob Lucknan standing over that crucial free, time after time, right down here for O'Callaghan's Mills. Let's see what happens. 3 between them at the moment, 27 and a half minutes gone here. There will be an additional 2 or 3 minutes, but again, Jacob Lucknan trying to keep the Millsmen on, right in touch of a single score. Will it arrive for the Millsmen? Again, any break of ball at the other end of the field will be seriously punished by the ballyea men. It's Jacob Lucknan slotting it in and once again delivering the ball straight over the bar for the Millsmen. It's back to 2 points once again in the park. Ballyea 117, O'Callaghan's Mills 1 goal and 15, 28 on the clock. Into the county hurling final in 2 weeks' time. Who will it be? Ball breaks out, and Pat Donlan coming onto this one, whipping it across to the middle of the field, putting the ball on the stick is Kieran Cooney. Out to the middle it goes. It's going to be picked up very, very shortly on the far side of the field by Sean O'Gorman. Sean O'Gorman trying to control it. He does. He sends the ball in, but again the ball going to the left of the goal, and it's going wide. Donald Cooney down on the sideline, just urging the players just to keep the ball in play. How important is that? Ocean Hennessy back to our right hand side, getting ready. The clock is right on 28 minutes and 40 seconds. 2 points between the sides. ballyea lead by 2 here, 117 to 115. Under the ball on the far side is Niall Deasy. Niall Deasy goes up, he gets the ball, he goes to the ground, he's been fouled, and once again it's going to be a free in for the ballyea men right on the 45 metre line. Niall Deasy is going to take it when he gets back up. It might be Tony Kelly that's going to take it as well. Niall Deasy moving away. It's going to be Tony Kelly that's going to take this free for ballyea right on the 45 metre line at the moment. Some treatment going in there for one of the ballyea lads coming away with this, but it's going to be Tony Kelly. Wayne King just issuing to slow things down until the player receives the treatment on the far side.
Niall Deasy is receiving treatment to his hand, so that's why Kelly is taking the free.
And Tony Kelly striking this free. Up in the air it goes. The ball comes in. Incredible. The ball goes to the right of the goal and it goes wide. 45 out. He can score him from the sideline, and there's going to be 6 minutes of additional time in the park. 6 minutes of additional time, and right now we're 15 seconds away from that. There's loads of time left in the park. There's going to be a free from James Murphy, penalised there for coming down on the stick of Brian Donlan. It's going to be a free. It's going to be Jacob Lucknan again. Right now there's just 2 points between the sides, 117 115. ballyea leading by 2, and Jacob Lucknan is exactly 62 metres out from the ballyea goal. Oisin Hennessy's goal down to our right. He's about 15 metres in from the sideline. He's striking in to the old scoreboard end down here to our right hand side, steadying himself, absolutely motionless now at the moment as he looks at the ball, now looks at the stick, now looks at the hurley, now looks at the pole, now strikes this ball, and once again straight over the bar, once again from the stick of Jacob Lucknan. It's back to a single point in the park. ballyea 117, O'Callaghan's Mills 116. 30 and a half minutes gone here. 5.5 minutes left, Tommy.
Yeah, big 5 minutes coming up now. ballyea need to stem the tide because Mills back in on top again.
Ball going off the hand of Sean O'Gorman to the far side of the field. It's going to be a line ball once again for the ballyea men out the 45 on the 45 metre line. Placing this ball is going to be Niall Deasy. He'll chip this ball right in around Killian Nugent's house, right inside to our left hand side. Killian Brennan on the left of the goal as we look at it, and Patrick Donlan trying to keep an eye on him. Conor Cooney Cooney back there as well. Into the middle of the field is Aaron Griffin. He has moved into around the house. Now it's Niall Deasy dropping this ball right into the edge of the square. Ball coming off the post, and it comes back out to this side of the field. It's picked up and tidied up. It's the Millsmen coming away to the middle of the field, picked up by Aidan O'Gorman, driving it down to the middle, but it's going to be tidied up on the far side of the field by Brian Carey. Gets the ball back into his hand passing it back out to Jack Brown. Jack Brown again coming over that ball. He has time to look up, sent it up looking for Ty Lynch. The ball goes over his shoulder, picked up there again by Mike Cotter, trying to come away with that ball, facing his own goal. He's under pressure now, decides to release the ball into the zone. It goes challenged out there in the middle of the field, but it's won out by Jerry Cooney into the centre goal. Gary Cooney running onto it. Now it's run out to the far side. It's the Mills on the attack, still driving through the centre, looking for support. Releases the ball in, the ball going to the left of the goal, and it's going wide here. And that was a huge moment for Kieran Cooney. He was the man driving through the centre, and again the referee indicating he wasn't fouled. He just struck the ball. It went to the left and wide, but he's down injured at the moment, just limping away. It's a leg injury at the moment. He's about to receive treatment, but still 1 point between the sides.
Yeah, and again, I'd say, probably Gary, he was running ahead of him, and had he popped it, probably the temptation would have been there. There would have been contact made after he had hand passed it. Could have been a free. Instead, Gary took it on, was always under pressure, and it just the ball went harmlessly wide. That's soul destroying. Like when the game is on a knife edge like that, you need to have more composure. Unfortunately, Kieran didn't. Look at it. If he went over, he was a hero. If it didn't make the right decision, but easily for us to say up here.
Absolutely. Well, he's back. He's very. I thought he was back on his feet there just a few moments ago, driving through the ballyea defence as well, and again been back on his feet. Will limp back out for just a few moments. That's the man. He's back into action in the middle of the field. Just absolutely for the ballyea men are out. They're trying to defend this 1 point lead here in the park. A breaking ball can change everything no matter which way it goes. 3.5 minutes gone here in this second half. We're heading for the margin of 36. You can make that now 37 at the moment. That'll be the magic number on the clock at the moment. So there's a good 3.5 minutes left here. The puck out, Jacob Lucknan trying to control it, but it comes out to this side of the field, and it's won into the centre. Aidan O'Gorman whipping a fantastic ball down to Brian Donlan. Brian Donlan from way out the field is dropping in. It's controlled on the far side of the field. Colin Crehan coming out. He tries to get the breaking ball, still holding on to it. Now coming out, gets it across into the centre. Jacob Lucknan, he's blocked inside. Goal! Into the back of the net for the Millsmen, arriving just on time to the far side of the field. Colin Crehan, he made the run across. He planted the ball to Jacob Lucknan. He was blocked down brilliantly. The breaking ball came out. Colin Crehan into the back of the net, and the Mills now lead by 2 points here in this semi-final as we head into the clock telling us 34 minutes gone here into the middle of the field. Aidan O'Gorman trying to carry that one. Killian Brennan going through the centre, trying to win that ball back. Brian Donlan is back there. He's trying to control the ball, and once again it's been a free. Great work from Sean O'Gorman, controlling the ball back outside the 20-metre line. It's a free for O'Callaghan's Mills. Down here to our left hand side, Killian Nugent in absolutely no hurry to come back, but what a finish from Colin Crehan. Great work by Jacob Lucknan as well, and a great block down inside in the fence, but that breaking ball rolled out to Colin Crehan. Killian Nugent with the free for the Millsmen to our left hand side. 35 minutes almost on the clock. There's a good 2 minutes left here in the park. Ball going in over the head. Peter Casey trying to control it. He's been challenged by Jack Brown. Jack Brown trying to control the ball. He does up along the line, but again the ball going astray into the wide open zone. It should be Paul Flanagan's now. Paul Flanagan has acres of room in front of him to set up a ballyea attack up along the line, chipping the ball back into the centre, but the Millsmen crowding it out, and again coming open with Mike Cotter to the middle of the field. It's way out, it's high, it's line to right of the goal, and it goes wide. Is there a magic moment left in this for the ballyea men? Is there a magic moment left in this for the Mills, or have we just seen it from the goal of Colin Crehan? Now it comes out to this side. Brian Griffin is on the ball, trying to whip it out into the centre, but again Conor Henry, what a game he's had in the number 9 jersey, trying to come away with that ball to the far side of the field, but again back there is Jerry Cooney trying to control it, challenged out there outside by Killian Brennan. Get up to the referee on the far side. Jerry Cooney is still there, keeping the ball in play. He's on his knees, he rolls the ball into to his hand. He's been challenged back there, now trying to clear the lines, and that's what happens. It's going to be Jacob Lucknan taking on Paul Flanagan. Jacob Lucknan trying to get control of it, and now he has won the free for O'Callaghan's Mills on the 45 metre line. It's going to be an opportunity for Jacob Lucknan once again to take this one. 2 goals and 16 points for O'Callaghan's Mills, 1 goal and 17 points for ballyea, and the clock, it's 36 minutes and 20 seconds here. We did mention the possibility of 37 minutes. Jacob Lucknan has the chance at the moment to put 3 between them, and that really is a magic figure. Now Jacob Lucknan standing over it again, taking all the time in the world. Oisin Hennessy is just waiting to get his hands on that ball for the fast puck out. It comes from Jacob Lucknan sends it in. It goes to the right of the goal and it goes wide. ballyea on the attack, but can they get possession of this ball to the far side of the field? That breaking ball close to the line, and who better than Pat Donlan driving the ball down to the side of the field, linking up for the 1-2. Now he lines up to take this one, striking the ball. Oh, that's absolutely magic from Patrick Donlan. He came down along the line, he won the ball, he linked up with Jacob, and the referee has blown the final whistle here in Cusack Park, and O'Callaghan Mills are in to the county senior hurling final for the first time since 1993, and what a way to come back into it. That Colin Crehan goal, we saw ourselves, they were in trouble for long periods, but then a blistering closing 5 or 6 minutes in this game, and came out winners 217 to 117, and it's not quite sure, can they absolutely believe it outside in the field at the moment. All the Mill substitutes are in on the field as well. They're back into the county final, Tommy.
Yeah, and again, you know, we spoke about it there. At times they looked like they were going out of the game, but something, you know, gave them that inspiration to hang in there, and then it switched in one ball that went in. You know, Oisin Hennessy brought it down, lost possession of it. Gary Cooney had a shot, or Colin Crehan had a shot saved, Jason Lucknan had a shot saved, and then Crehan then just pushed it over the line for a goal. Sometimes, you know, it's your year, but I think you have to make it happen. And credit to the Mills at different stages, they were hanging in there. You know, ballyea probably relied on Kelly and DC, and it looked like it at long stages that they was going to get him over the line. But what a year for the Mills. You know, 4 wins on the bounce, each one, you know, something similar, grind it out to the last minute, and then, you know, it was a sucker punch at the end was the goal.
Absolutely, Tommy, but you can look at this game in many ways. ballyea will be savagely disappointed with this, because not alone had they control of the happenings in most of the second half, they had control of the scoreboard as well, but the Mills, they just hung on there, and we were always waiting. They always knew that they needed a magic moment in this game, and Colin Crehan picked that ball in assistance with Jacob Lucknan right in front of the goal. That's the ball we're talking about all day. They hadn't the numbers up front. They got, what did they get? Opportunity wise, maybe 2 or 3 opportunities. Yep. They took one of them and they're into the final, and then some fantastic free taken from Jacob Lucknan here from out around the 65 metre line. But ballyea, while they'll be disappointed, jubilation for O'Callaghan.
And again, you know, all credit to them. Like, you know, I mean, they came into the game as probably as the underdogs. Yeah, they spoke about Gary Brennan being out in that, but it looked, you know, for long stages that ballyea were going to go and win, go on and win the game. But, you know, the last passage of play there typified the Mills. They broke down the ball, they gave it to a free player. Paddy Donlan went up the wing, gave it to, I think it was Jacob Buckland, put it over the bar. It's something you dream of, but you know, when it's your day, when it's your year, these things happen. But from the Mills' point of view, they make it happen.
Absolutely. Well, Patrick Donlan typified it there in the end as well, along with the others. It's a magic moment. ballyea will be savagely disappointed. We can see down here to our right hand side as well that they are disappointed as well, but they got the opportunities, but the composure of the Mills has won them into the final for the first time in 27 years.
Long time to be waiting. You know, they got so close 2 years ago to the semi-final and against the same opposition, and didn't get it over the line. Today, you know, they came, you know, no great game plan, but I think, you know, they have a high work rate. You know, they really, you know, have a high intensity. They play the game, and when they get on top of you, they seem to be able to, you know, push that advantage home. And again, we spoke about, you know, game changers. Killian Nugent, super safe from Kelly at a crucial time. They were 4 up, that could have gone to 7. You know, it left it still manageable. So small things change games. And again, you know, unfortunate for Oisin Hennessy, I thought the ball was going over the bar wide, he brought it down. Look at, he's inconsolable down there. I was looking at him there. That's small things that win and lose games. Semi-finals, the Mills won't mind. They're through to the final against their near local loved neighbours, 6 Mile Bridge.
We did say about Killy Nugent from that save. We said we may look back on the 10th minute of that game. ballyea were leading by 3. That would have been a 6, but that fantastic save set up the Millsmen, and from there on they didn't take control. From there on they stayed in the game from there on, and in the last few moments they took they took the game by the scruff of the neck, and a huge occasion for them into the county senior hurling final again for the first time in 27 years. It's a fantastic occasion, Tommy. Before we wind up, I'll give you one word on the county final. There will be so much talk about it over the next 2 weeks as well, but a great occasion. I suppose the final, you could say, we didn't even know if we'd have hurling, not alone a county final, but now we have.
Yeah, and again, I suppose, 6 Mile Bridge did their business yesterday even, got into the final. 6 Mile Bridge will go in as raging hot favourites, as county reigning champions. Their aim all year has been to put, back-to-back titles. Look at the Mills have been striving, you said, for 27 years to get there. Again, something about the Mills, something like Clooney maybe two years ago, where they get on a roll, they have a bit of momentum. Maybe Clooney should have finished it the first day, but the Bridge got a second chance. They'll look forward to it. The Mills will look forward to this. It's something that they've worked hard on. It's 27 years, as you said. And what a final, mouth-watering final awaits us.
Absolutely. As we wind up here in Cusack Park, a special word of thanks to our good friends at Blossoms on the Go in Hermitage, of course here in Ennis as well, for their kind sponsorship right throughout, not alone today, but the Hurling Championship right throughout 2020. To Brian, of course, back at base for keeping us on the straight and narrow on sound and production as well. To Tommy on analysis, and again here in the park. Congratulations to O'Callaghan's Mills. They're into the county senior hurling final in dramatic fashion here in the second of the county hurling semi-finals. It ended on a scoreline of O'Callaghan's Mills 2 goals and 17 points, ballyea 1 goal and 17. Do join us again in just over an hour for the second of the county football semi-finals here, with Cratloe take on St. Brecons. But for now, from everybody in Parkes Oak, it's bye-bye for now.
And down here at pitchside, lads, we have now John Conlon, we had 3 semi-finals played. We had a near shock in either of the 2 semi-finals yesterday, but still the Fairs got through today now. The Mills are through to their first county final, I think, since back in the 30s. Oh, sorry, back in the mid-90s, I think.
Yeah, super win. Fantastic for the Mills. Look, I suppose well deserved in the end. If you were to look back at the game, if you said coming in today that Tony Kelly would score 1-8 and Niall would score 7 points from play and ballyea not to be on the winning side, you would have been shocked. So the Mills, looking fairness to them, they kept plugging away in the second half. They went to 115 to 111 down, and just kept getting their frees and hitting them over the bar and getting their few points ticking away at the scoreboard. And then all of a sudden there was only 2 points in it, and then a long ball went in that looked like it was going wide, but the ballyea, I suppose, goalie would be upset. that he batted it back out, or and then caused consternation in the goal mouth. And then there was a goal that Colin Crenton scored, and there was only going to be one winner then from for the last 2 or 3 minutes.
So Andrew, we have probably seen the Mills coming into this game. They're a fit team. They're a hungry team. I think he's discussed it at half time. They've brought aggression all over the field, legal aggression now on the sideline of the field. They really wanted this game.
Yeah, as I said there before, they played ballyea in a semi-final a few years back. They lost by 4 points, and you could see that when ballyea went 4 clear, it was very, very different. Mills, like I would have said, Colin Crehan was very good in the frees, but Jacob Lucknan, every free hit was a pressure free, and he nailed it with great conviction as well. I thought the big thing was that, you know, when ballyea got the little purple patch, the Mills didn't panic. They stayed doing what they were doing. They were still winning a lot of primary possession, and it was just not a whole pile actually maybe coming off it. But as John said there, they stuck with it, and you know, Tony got a great goal, and Killian Nugent made another brilliant save from him, and it was nearly like a shot in the arm. Like John and myself said, when maybe Kieran Cooney went on to Tony, his influence was curbed a little bit, which allowed the Mills to get a foothold back in the game again. And you know, when there's a 2-point lead or a 1-point lead, it's very, very dangerous. And as John said, just at the end, you know, while the ball was down there, I suppose there was a couple of great blocks from the ballyea defence, but eventually it just fell back to Gary, and he got the flick in for the net. You know, so it was a great win for the Mills. You know, the Mills would have said after probably last year, you know, they're in the exact opposite position to where they were. You know, maybe 2 or 3 pucks of a ball from maybe going down now to maybe 2 or 3 pucks of winning a championship potentially. So it's been a massive turnaround for the Mills, and you know, fair play to them. It was a great performance from today.
How do you go from being in a relegation final in, we say, 11 months ago to now in a county final? Was COVID good to them? Was it maybe different? Maybe they trained hard?
But I suppose the way the Clare Championship is structured, you know, you can be very unlucky and get into a relegation. I know we played the Mills last year in the first round. We only came out, you know, pulled away near the end, but they were in the semi-final the year before, and then they got caught in the next round, and now suddenly in a relegation. You know, so the way the Clare Championship is, you know, you could get caught over 2 weekends and be in a relegation really easily. But then you know that they're what you're going to get from the Mills. You're going to get aggression, you're going to get massive intensity and work rate. And you know, if you have to watch any of the teams over the last number of weeks, they're the ones that are bringing in with bucket loads, both on the sideline, subs, and on the field as well. And they're just in your face constantly. And you know, any decision that's going, even for the ref, they're nearly telling the ref that there's a free or there's steps or there's something coming. You know, it's fair play to them, because look, they're a massive, you know, really aggressive and really super club, and look, fair play, they're in the county final now, and they'll be looking forward to it.
I suppose to look forward to the county final, I suppose the Mills versus the Bridge, you couldn't get any closer.
No, near neighbours most definitely. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting battle. You know, like I suppose it'll be a highly tactical affair as well, and you know, the Mills showed there today that, you know, the bodies where they needed them as well, so be looking forward to it big time, I think. But yeah, as regards near neighbours, I'd say there'll be good fun down there for the next couple of weeks, alright. But look, anything can happen in finals, literally anything can happen. And you know, I suppose if the Mills bring loads of that again today, and you know, maybe a bit more of it, I'm sure that the Bridge will be probably saying to themselves, look, we need to match that aggression. And you know, like when you take on the Bridge in a final, and if you can beat them in a final, you know, you've a massive hours hurling done. But the Bridge are there for a reason. You know, as Seth and Jan would have said yesterday, just, you know, an excellent team. You know, they do the right thing with the ball a lot of the time. And you know, any mistake, you know, we noticed that when we played them in the championship, any mistake you made, it gets punished. And I suppose that's the beauty of this game and this championship this year.
I think that day was a 4-point defeat for you that day. I think you finished up with 1-3 from goals, so it was 20 points to 113. Is it that just they get a ball and they finish it, you make a mistake, they punish you savage?
Yeah, I think that's what happens with a lot of the top teams. Like, is, you know, when you can be doing all of the hurling, you can literally look up at the scoreboard and you might only be maybe a point ahead, or it could even be level. And you know, I think the Bridge are masters at that. Like, but I think what they have is I'd be very, very impressed by, you know, the way they have played in terms of their teamwork, and every man knows his job. That's what I'd be really, really impressed with by 6 Mile Bridge in this championship, that every man to a man knows his job. And even yesterday, you know, they got hit for a goal, they didn't panic, a penalty, they came back, and then I think they led the game, but you know, they stuck to what they were good at, and eventually they got their reward. You know, and they're all terribly unlucky, you know, in certain stages of it. So it's just been a brilliant championship, and you know, the Mills have, you know, amplified that today as well, you know, by having potentially an underdog in the final as well.
I suppose, John, we mentioned the fact that Clonlara yourselves won the Senior B semi-final yesterday against Crusheen. It won't go down in history probably as a highlight, but I suppose you're back in a Senior B final against your Marker and Fergus next weekend. And there was rumours that you had a pair of togs on you. Was it Paul Mescal's togs or was it your own?
No, it was just helping out in the warm-up. That was it really. But look, we're playing the Marker next weekend. You can even see the Millis won that there a few years ago as well. So, it's a good stepping stone. We have a lot of young lads coming through, and we're just looking forward to kind of finishing out next weekend and getting as many games in as possible with the weird kind of year that we had when the North Clare Cup games and stuff. So, look, it's great to see the competitiveness that's in the championship, and you can see that in the Clare Championship that just any team can beat each other on any day, and anyone can win it. And look, we can see that ourselves that like Whitegood with Andrew that. You're trying to go out and you can go out any day and win. So look, hopefully we can get back on track again next year in the Senior A and see what happens.
And how was the cruciate? I suppose you're doing all the rehab that's needed.
Yeah, like I'm over 5 months now, so training really hard, trying to get it back right. But we'll wait and see what happens. It's a long road, and hopefully it'll be a long year with Clare as well.
Again, thanks to Andrew and thanks to John, and I suppose a historic day for O'Callaghan's Mills and their first county final since the 1990s, and to ballyea, a team of great potential, All-Ireland club finalists and county champions the last couple of years. They can lick their wounds for another year and they'll be back again next year. So final score here, O'Callaghan's Mills 2-17, ballyea 1-17. We'll be back again and in about an hour with the semi-final championship between St. Brecken's and Cratland football. So again, thank you very much.